We'll get started then. So you've just spent a long, pleasant evening in East Haven for once, and you were planning on setting out investigating the mission fishermen, I believe, unless you've changed your mind. And
No.
the seance is that evening, and you have been asked to appear before the Council of Speakers 3 days hence in Bryn Shander.
Well, we had best check the north, report to the guard captain, check the northeast, then head to the council of speakers, and then as soon as we're done there, we'll head to Cartagos and Bremen.
Very good. I mean, assuming
Yeah,
nothing
it's
else
Nessie.
comes up.
Well,
For
I'm
the
sure
same
it will.
monster.
Yeah, well, Nessie needs a punch, a one shoving up.
Indeed. So, the plan, how do you plan to get a boat? Or are you planning on walking around the ice and hoping that you spot somebody?
That sounds like the plan.
Well, I was hoping to see the leader of the Fishermen's Guild because I think we could get help from her. But failing that, we'll just walk, I think.
After all, having boats doesn't seem to have done them any good.
Yes, but if they are missing on the lake, they were on a boat, so it might be kind of difficult to find them if they're on the boat, but you don't have a boat.
In that case, we'll go to the pub, the fish pub.
Borrow a boat.
Yeah, and find the person in charge of the Fishermen's Guild who's called Neva Furnister.
Yes. Or you could rent a boat in the pub. There's always the odd fisherman in the wet trout at East Haven.
I think we're a bit short of football, or not? I've just seen my money go up.
There's some very odd fishermen in the wet fish.
Yeah, I'm
The
rich.
wet trout.
No, apparently the best way to make money is to bump a lot of Duergar off and sell off their armour and weapons, because
Yeah.
although they are plain and unadorned, they are of really high quality.
I've got 31 gold.
Well, we'll head to the trout, and if she's in, we'll talk to her, and if not, we'll rent a boat.
Yeah, the Fisherman's Guild doesn't operate out of the wet trout. It's just a fisherman's pub.
It's just us some fishermen in the pub. They're bound to know, right? You know, where the lake's open, where somewhere we can hire, get a boat from. They'll probably go, oh yeah, you can hire mine.
Yeah. Well, without any problems at all, there's several offers of you to hire a boat. You'll need one large enough to carry you all, but not too large that you can't drag it across the ice. Although Asia, with crampons on, can drag quite a large boat. So yeah, for 5 silver pieces, you can hire a boat for the day.
JRP.
Are crampons in the mountaineering kit? Or do you have to buy them separately?
No, they're separate.
How much do they cost? Or where do I find
I
them?
think the 2GP, they're a pretty common item. Icendale, yeah. 2GP, £0.25 for a set of crampons. Allows you to, basically, football boots that strap to the sole of your boot, allow you to can't fall prone while moving across slippery ice.
I'm going to get some crampons.
Yeah, I will as well.
I'm going to get me cramp on.
Yeah, they're in the, if you just go to items and search cramp, and you want the ones from the Icewind Dale Rime and the Frost Maiden one, which are 2 gold pieces, and they're easy to strap on.
Spend money.
I know, we love it when you spend your monies, your hard-earned money. So,
Right, wherever. Crampons on the face.
yeah, you questioned that guy last night, and he had told you that the spot the fishes were in is almost directly northeast against the cliffs, just past where that large ice floe is. That's where they normally fish.
Okay, we'll paddle that way.
And they also warned you that you may want to have a drink or two handy, for spending a night out in the cold on the lake is not a great thing to be having to do.
We'll just build a fire
Right.
Or take the tent?
in the boat.
Are you taking the tent with you? That is fine. Who's carrying the tent?
Yes, it's me.
Probably be the boat.
I asked the fisherman, is there anything in the lake which would normally attack, you know, fishermen, people in boats, stuff like that?
Like sea monsters and shite.
Yeah, I like that.
Sea monsters in the lakes, that seems unlikely, he says. The knuckle-headed trout, however, can get a little boisterous, and they're surprisingly dangerous. That people don't realise. They tend to, when you try to catch them, leap out of the boat and strike at the fisherman with the large horny plates above the head. That's the part of them that makes them valuable for screaming in.
Hopefully we don't get flying fish to death, because that would be just our ignominious end.
That would be a glorious end to the campaign. What happened to your players? They got headbutted to death by a bunch of trout. I now want to make that happen, because that would make a great title on Reddit.
It would actually, yeah. Right, press on.
Right, so you roar somewhat unsteadily. I don't believe anybody's got a sailory kind of background, have you? You roar somewhat
My family
unsteadily.
had a yacht. Does that count?
And it's going to take you
That makes you an expert.
to get into the general area about 3 hours of rowing and walking, get you up to the northeastern part up against the cliff. So you spend a hard day's run alternating between the rows, and you've got a couple of hours of, I say, daylight, the less dark bit of the twilight. As you arrive, you can see the cliffs close by, and ahead, moored against that large floor of ice on the map, a rowboat lies bobbing in the water,
Ooh, free boat.
not far from the 80-foot cliffs.
Let's go have a look, and also keep an eye on those cliffs.
The mouths of 4 caves dot the snowy cliffside. One of these is at water level, and the other is elevated 20 to 30 feet above the frozen lake. The wind tearing through these icy caves sounds like moaning. Ooh.
That could, of course, be somebody moaning.
Or somebody moaning, yeah.
Which
I
map is
shall,
this on?
You're not on any map yet, Dave. We're doing Theatre of the Mind.
Theatre of the mind.
The wind blows through your beard, rippling it.
I shall pull the bow and arrow and keep an eye on these cliffs and caves and things,
Very well.
just in case.
Well, if there's 3 at ground level, left, right, or middle. In fact, toss cobble, check to see if there's any tracks, will you?
So are you going to roll past the boat and head straight to the caves?
You know, run up. We'll pull up to the boat first.
Okay, so with some
Limit
difficulty,
salvage.
and cursing, who's rowing?
I'll roll.
Right,
And
so,
me.
yeah, with Aisha and Ben either side and some swearing and slightly wobbling off course. You see that the ship itself is called the Bunch o' Knuckleheads. And as you pull close to it, you see there seems to be a bunch of scattered equipment in the bottom of the boat and 4 oars.
Any bloodstains or anything like that?
Is anybody going to jump over to check? Because obviously you're looking down into the boat. If you want to jump in and thoroughly search it, that's fine.
I'll go.
There's nothing visible that you can see.
It's all right. I'll go.
I'll grab hold of the boat, hold it close to our boat.
Aha.
Scramble,
Okay.
scramble,
I'll
scramble.
get my
Whoops.
crossbow out just in case.
So Corin leaps across to the other boat. Is that correct?
I don't know whether I would quite say leap. Sort
It's-
of more falls into the other boat.
Scrambles over. Right. So you head over to the other boat. There is a bunch of fishing tackle scattered around the floor and a dozen empty bottles lying in it. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Glass would be very brittle. Dozen empty wineskins. From where you are on the boat, you can also see a faint, very faint, almost filled in set of tracks heading towards the caves.
I sort of point in the direction of the tracks, look over my shoulder, catch Shadman's eye, and mouth tracks.
Oh, great.
So there's a bunch of stuff on the board.
Anything useful?
It appears to be fishing gear. Sadly, as Corin turns to face you and mouths, there are tracks over there. You all hear the cawing of what you think is some large birds, but as they swoop lower out of the mist, you realise that they have the terrible twisted faces of human women with bare breasts shown.
Oh, crap.
They swoop down towards you.
Bernie.
Right, ready my weapons. Oh,
Yeah.
look, large blue tits.
Oh, dear God.
I would give Dave inspiration for that, but he already has it.
I'll roll onto me back in the bottom of the boat and let fly an arrow at the nearest one.
This sounds like a sensible plan. Sadly, neither side has surprise because they rolled really shitty and did not even get anywhere near your passive stealth. So
What?
that was quite bad.
How many is this, sorry, Rich?
There's 2 that come screaming down.
For once, a bit of a decent initiative for Mr. Toscobble.
Yeah, the roll on NPC initiatives button seems to be broken, so I have to actually randomly click on them now. So I did roll a natural 20 for once, so that's good. However, Mr. Toscobble goes first as he beats a natural 20. You're on the other side of the boat. It's drifted slightly away, Andy, and this is what you see. You're going to like this. Not a lot.
I thought it would be not a lot. Lovely. Right.
Isn't that just what you want to see in a battle map?
That's quite a nice battle map, that actually, to be fair.
Right, you're up first. So yes, you see them swooping in from the northeast.
Right, well, time to put a tosser's mark on one of them.
Seems like an excellent plan.
Yeah, we'll do that first.
The one with the rotten volatile snigger. Yeah.
Aye. Yep, right. And I shall try and put an arrow in one.
Oh no, it has tosser's mark. You hit, wounding the creature. I guess you're not using your movement unless you are either throwing yourself prone or running along the back and forwards along the board.
Can I use me movement in place of me movement to stuff something in my ears?
That would be an action.
Fair enough.
Unless you stamp your feet really loud to drown out the possible threat. Right, okay, so next up we have the one that you wounded swings in close.
I'm going to get a right kick in here.
Swings in close towards the boat. Opens her mouth and lets loose the most lovely song that all of you ever heard.
Not falling for that.
Right, I really hope this is not going to be a TPK.
Is it a charm? Because I get advantage.
It does
If
it
it's a
automatically,
charm.
yeah.
All right, cool.
So we have
Yes,
two
I failed.
failures.
Did I fail?
Bien and Corin stand up. You must walk towards this entrancing creature, and it flaps the air. Sandman.
You know what's coming, don't you?
Lots of fiery death. Bien and Corin, both their eyes glaze over. They have a stupid smile on their face, and it looks like they're about to step out of the boat and into the icy cold water.
I'll have to
Jeez, pretty.
target both of them, but because I'm doing them one at a time because of the way the spell works, I'll do her first.
Do one
the
and the
next
other. Cause
Right, hang on, I'm just gonna use my points up before I forget to get round. Okay, where are you hiding?
Now that it's closer, you can see it's emaciated, and like many other things that you see in Icewind Dale, everything seems to be on the verge of starvation. It's so much burny damage. You get 3 rays as well.
Yeah.
Good lad.
Oh, 3 hit. Yeah, boy.
I'll target the other one.
Yeah, the heartbeat is heavily injured. However, seems to be still going kind of bad. The noticeable shoulder high. Shoulder high what, we ask ourselves. Oh, yeah, a crit. Nice.
That made up for that one.
I know, I was thinking, oh dear.
Well, looks like I'm going to be taking a swim.
Oh,
You
yes.
and me both, Dave.
Dave,
You and me both.
you're up next. Are you finished your turn now?
Yeah, yeah. Can I take cover behind the mast if there's any sort of small mast?
It's a rowboat with 3 plank seats and 2 oars.
All right then, okay.
Behind an oar.
You can,
Take cover behind a bracing.
even if you kneel down, it's not that tall that you can claim cover.
Yeah, no.
Right, so Ben, you step forward, sploosh, you fall into the icy cold water. Several things happen. Firstly, your cold weather clothing completely stops working. Secondly, you start taking exhaustion checks after a number of minutes equal to your con bonus, which was 3. You have 3 minutes before you start taking exhaustion checks every minute with no bonus to your cold weather clothing. Right, so you step forward and you begin swimming towards her. So we'll see you move another 5 feet. And that's your turn, sadly. However, you do get a save and throw now. I'll just make that for you because it's the end of your turn. You may realise that jumping in ice cold water was not terribly clever idea.
The part of his body he's thinking with suddenly shuffles.
Yeah, Dave, you suddenly come to your senses. You realise that you are in the water and you are swimming towards the harp.
Will I get a save and throw at the end of my next turn?
Yes.
When I've stepped into the water?
Yes.
Jolly good.
Lantesh.
Kill it. Please kill it.
Yes, I'm about to do that. I will cast a firebolt at the damaged one because does it look quite heavily damaged?
It does.
Right, okay.
Oh, it's a hit. Big fire blast coming in. Oh no, you blast the harpy from the sky, and with a she falls and crashes into the water. Corin, you are no longer charmed.
Right.
It's quite lucky. And then it is Aisha's turn.
Right, I'm just trying to see if the other harpy's in range or not.
Oh, mate.
55. I will cast Guiding Bolt at it.
You guide that bolt as you blast it.
God damn it.
Dodges easily to the side. The second harpy, however, seeing that its comrade has gone and died and fell in the water, turns around and begins to fly away.
Not so fast.
Back towards the cliffs. Back to dashing off the edge of the map. 8 feet. It flies so far and flies so high that it goes off the edge of the map. Right, it is disengaging. Corin, you blink your eyes as you come round. Your foot is literally hovering over the icy water as you were about to step into it.
Can I still say that another harpy?
You can, yeah, just because she's off the map, it's in the air. She is quite a distance away, and you've dropped your boat on the boat, but you can just scoop it up as an action, so that's not a problem. Scoop it up as a free action.
Right. Well, I'm not keen on what these harpies have been doing, and if we don't kill it, it'll only come back. So I shall scoop up my bow, shift the old tosser's mark, and then convince this harpy that it might really not want to come back.
Oh, nice.
Wow, with a long range shot, you sight down the arrow, and it twang, and then shoo, and then like you literally count 1, 2. The harpy's flying away. It sticks right in the back of its neck, and it sort of squawks and then crashes to the water.
Outstanding, young man.
And the next thing I need to do is I'm going to try and paddle the boat over to where Ben is.
Yes, Ben, it will be your turn next.
Well, I swim to the boat I stepped out of because it's closer.
Okay, give me here an athletic roll. Request an athletic roll.
Can I help him into the boat?
You can. Right. Sadly, Ben is weighed down by his cold weather clothing and his equipment, and his head disappears under the water for a second. He thrashes about. He manages to come up and then blows icy cold water out. Coughing and spluttering and cannot manage to get any.
Is he close enough for me to get one of the oars basically in front of him?
Oh yeah, that would be
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll tell the others two to lean on the other side of the boat, and I'll lean out and use the oar and like try and get them to hang on to it and pull them towards the boat.
Yeah. Okay. The DM in me says I'm going to give David an athletics roll with advantage to grab the oar and to be pulled in, because if he rolls double ones, I think Aisha probably clonks him on the top of the head with it, which would be quite hilarious if a little deadly. Yeah, so Dave, you flail about and then you feel an oar under one of your hands. You grab hold of the oar. Aisha pulls you in like a drowned rat. You're soaked through the skin in ice cold water.
I'll cast Prestidigitation on him and dry him off.
I don't think Prestidigitation can dry off that amount of water, sadly.
I will use it to warm him, because you can warm an object with it. So I'll warm his undershirt and I'll wrap him in a blanket.
Yeah, you're gonna. The problem is going to be you're going to need to dry Dave's cold weather clothing out, which generally takes a long rest, during which time he will be naked. Prestidigitation itself is not powerful enough. You can warm it up slightly, but it's ice cold water. Remember, the temperature's just dropped. And we're down to around between -40 and -60 now.
Well, under the circumstances, why don't we get Ben's cold weather clothing off him? Each of us give him our blankets, and then we'll row back to where we came from and go and dry him out.
No, we'll get in the cave and light a fire.
It will take about 3 hours to row back.
How long will it take just to get to shore?
You can get to shore in a minute of rowing or so.
Yeah, we'll get him in the cave and we'll light a fire.
Did anybody see which cave this harpy went into? Did it fly off?
The harpy didn't go into the cave. It was flying up the cave cliffs. You can just see, like seagulls where they nest up higher in the cave.
Right. Okay. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. So the harpy was flying up, but the footprints were leading into the cave.
All right. Let's head for the cave then.
Right, so there's enough space on the side, on the shore, to pitch your tent, or you can head into a cave. Dave at this point is shivering and white.
I've got a jar of heat salve. Will that help?
So what do you do? Do you head towards the...
Yeah, let's get towards the caves and get out and moor the boats and get him in the cave. I'll use as much prestidigitation as I can to sort of aid him in what way I can to keep him as warm as possible. I know it's not going to do the whole job, but it might help get him in without getting hypothermia.
Yeah, sadly, prestidigitation is not built for this kind of extreme Arctic survival.
You probably needed a drill bit.
We'll roll him around in the snow because that gets all the water off, and then we'll get a fire going.
You'll whip his behind with a birch stick. So, like I said, you've got the choice of heading into the caves, or you could set your tent up on the shore. The caves is likely to be cold, perhaps. Luckily, Aisha didn't fall in and get the tent wet.
tent.
Yeah. Corin rummages around in his backpack, pulls out a jar and goes, "Get your kecks off, Bear, and I'll grease you up."
Grease them up. Right.
Can we take the oars and whatnot off that spare rowboat and use that for firewood?
Just burn the whole boat.
Has nobody got a campfire kit?
I know, but if we needed
Yeah.
any spare wood,
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
waste wood.
you can absolutely do that. You can set fire to the spare boat if you like.
Yeah.
Viking funeral.
Right.
Right.
So
Well, at least the evidence will sink.
you're on the edge of the cave systems. The southernmost cave is at ground level. The other 3 caves you would have to climb up the icy surface about 10 feet.
No, we'll go into the ground level one.
That's where the tracks are going anyway, aren't they?
Yes. So you
Are they human tracks or do they look like animal tracks?
they look definitely humanoid as opposed to paws.
Could the tent be set up in the cave, do you think?
Possibly you would have to go in to find out, but it's up to you.
Well, if you want, I'll go and have a look in the cave.
Yeah,
I'll
go for
come
it.
and back you up.
At this point, remember, Dave is shivering and it's going to take several minutes to set the tent up, so you need to decide fast. This is not a case of like I said, 3 minutes later, Dave starts making con saves. So I need a DC 20 con save from you, Dave. You wrap them in blankets as best you can.
Well, will this hate salve not do anything?
Yeah, it'll give him a +2. Are you going to grease him up?
Wait a minute, I'll find it.
Sorry, I've just got this image in my mind.
Oh, well, yeah. +5 to frost checks. Yep, that'll do nicely. I shall grace Dave up.
Right, so the quick way to do this, Dave, I'm just going to enable the insulation for now because you haven't got heat salve on your couch. So I'm going to ask for a con save at a DC 20. It's an open roll. A 19. So close. You start to feel the effects of the cold and you take a level of exhaustion.
If I cast guidance on him, would that help?
I don't think so. I think it's blessed for check. Oh no, checks guidance might help. Yeah. Right. So,
Guidance him.
like I said, are you going to spend time exploring the tent, or are you just going to set it up outside on the shore?
I think we'll probably need to set it up outside. We need to get Davey warmed up as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
if they set the tent up, I'll scope this cave out just to make sure there's not someone with lots of large teeth that'll be heading our way while we're trying to get warm.
Right. So hurrying as fast as you can. Dave takes a level of exhaustion. You get the tent up, and are you smashing the oars up? See, the campfire kit's got kindling and things like that to get the campfire going. Whereas if you just lighten a tent, I mean, I'm assuming you've got some kind of cantrip that'll do that. I'll go, burning hands.
I could just click my fingers and light it. Or I could also
so
set light to the
So
entire
you
place.
light this up, but it's going to be an 8-hour camp to dry out Dave's clothes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Luckily, he's only got 1 level of exhaustion, so that will recover within the 8 hours. Cold water is not fun.
You put the cold water on everything. We best check the area's safe though before we.
Well,
Dry Davey's checks out first, though.
Corin, you head in, and this looks like a river used to flow out of the caves and into the lake from here. It's now frozen solid. Look at it. You got crampons, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you strapped your crampons on so
Wait a second.
you don't fall over, but they obviously don't help much on your stealth check. Although you're Mr. Clinky Clanky anyway. Oh, you got your new armor yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Haven't quite got enough money yet, but I will have.
Just need a few modular guard. We'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, so looking into
shall,
the cave.
Stick me miner's helmet on and light me candle.
Light that candle there, boy. Then minus
I
hand.
don't know.
Hang on. Yeah, your candle's on.
I shall
How
do.
much more would you need to get it?
Hang on, I'll tell you.
We'll have a whip round, man.
21, I think.
We can do that.
Right, so you peek inside. And,
Yep, and I shall try in stealth.
I mean, you can try.
Yeah, exactly.
This may be considered a dick move, but can I cast message and say boo in his ear?
Right, you cast message. Corin, you hear boo in your ear. Earl, you hear right in your mind, right at the edge of your telepathic contact, strange, unnatural whisper.
Ooh.
Presuming.
Barely. It's barely there. It's almost as if it's like static. But as you focus on it, as you send the message, there's something out there.
Presuming
That's all.
Sanwin is listening intently, waiting for the response. All he hears is,
Well, Andy, looking further in, you can see it's just a cave that the river used to run out of.
Right, but there
deal
was
with-
footprints going in here.
There is. There's no longer footprints on the ice. Have a survival roll off here, I think.
Right.
13. Yeah, there are a few marks that may have been footprints, but because there's no snow inside the cave, it looks like footprints have worn off. They weren't wearing crampons, so they haven't dug any holes in the ice or anything like that.
Right.
Is
Well,
it? Sorry, go on, Andy.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, I just need to take it easy and creep forward to find out how big this cave is and if there's something horrible hiding in it.
Is it like a cave with a back exit, where the water's flowing through it, or is it like, a part like a tunnel with an exit out the other end where the water's been frozen?
Oh, that's great, Earl. I can see what you're seeing. You can see only seeing black and white apart from Andy's little candle.
It is. I must admit, it is kind of awesome.
Andy's creeping forward on his own. Sure, nothing bad happened.
I'm following to give him fire support.
The funny thing is, Andy can only see about 2.5 squares at a time.
I know. I might see it before he does, at which point I'll scream.
Yeah, this seems to be going into the mountains quite some distance.
You might hear some more of them little noises as well.
There's just the cracking of ice.
I'll message him to say
across the not like big cracks like, oh god, you're gonna die, like just the general noise cracking.
Aye.
I'll message him to say I'm backing you up, don't worry. I can't see. Have I walked into a wall again?
You have, yes. You need to go south a bit around the side of the wall.
Is that all right?
Yeah, there's a tunnel there. You can see Andy creeping ahead, letting out little squeaky noises. Andy, the tunnel turns southeast, but you can't really see where. So you seriously want to go in this tunnel by yourself?
Yeah, I'm going with it.
This is a great idea.
I'll try and
Can I take a moment? Oh, sorry. Can I stealth as well?
I'm just trying to make sure that if we're going to be sitting in the tent with a tent flap shut for the next 8 bloody hours, Summit is not going to be waiting outside. And the first person who says, I'm just going to nip outside, I may be sometime, is going to get eaten.
I'll sneak, Rich.
You're good at that.
I'm brilliant at sneaking. I am the stealthiest stealther in the history of stealthing. Like a fucking ninja, me.
So I'll ask him.
Are you wearing
telepathically-
crampons?
Yeah. Who left that twig there?
Right, so you guys are making slight cracking noises. You wince at every footstep. You hope it's not as loud as it sounds to you two, but you're obviously on edge. Maybe it's not as bad as you think. Maybe it is.
Well, I'll try to match my footfalls with his, so they'll spot him but not me. That's my plan. I'll message Aisha and say we're pressing on just to see what's down here. But if we find anything, we're coming out real quick. I'm trying. This isn't a party line.
Could you not afford your own line, like?
No, apparently I'm renting some fucker else's.
I'm going to cuddle up to Davey to keep him warm because body heat's good. So I'll try and keep him warm as much as possible.
You do that snuggle.
I'm good at cuddling in.
And you're always Little Spoon, which is an advantage. Current crosses across, still unable to see so far ahead. Oh, this is great. Right, Earl, you can just see the lip of a frozen waterfall.
I'll say to Corin, there's a frozen waterfall straight ahead and slightly
Are you
to the
using
left.
message or are you whispering?
Yeah,
it to
no, I'm using message. I'm going to start whispering messages to those voices because I'll annoy them before they annoy me.
There'll just be a mast down, that's all.
Hi, it's EE, not O2.
So he says there's a frozen waterfall up ahead. You've got torches. You could light a torch, Andy, or stick with your little minus candle. Obviously, you've got free hands when you've got a minus candle.
Yeah, I'll stick with my minus candle. Thank you very much. But I'm sort of failing around in front of me with me foot before I take a step forward.
Yeah.
So like, if all of a sudden the ground doesn't seem solid, I won't take a step forward.
The ice in here seems solid as far down as you can see. You maybe made out rocks against the background. You're running into a wall there, Andy.
Ah, sorry. Hang on.
So the ice seems solid. You are making little quick tap noises with your crampons as you're walking along.
I need to go that way.
Like
don't I?
every footstep you wincing.
Hey, I'm next to you.
Yeah, there's a frozen waterfall ahead.
Now, are we at the bottom or the top of it, if you say what I mean?
You are at the bottom of it.
Oh, well, that's not so bad then.
Is it scalable?
Yes, it certainly looks like you could climb it.
Is that sensible?
You tell me.
How high can I see it go up?
There's something in here, isn't there?
There's nothing in here. Earl, behind the waterfall, frozen just behind some ice, wedged in against a rock. It looks like somebody has stuffed a backpack or a bag of some kind. You can
I'll
see
drag
it
it
the
out.
other side of the ice. No, it's through the ice. You have to chip it out.
I can do a lot.
Let there be some dry cold weather clothing in there.
Can I blast it out with fire bolts instead?
Yeah.
To do
What?
the hard work.
Absolutely.
I just want
What?
to. I just want to firebolt it until there's enough. It's melted enough to drag it out.
Yeah,
without
the,
setting fire to it.
The completely dark cave lights up to the blasts of firebolt. There's loud cracking noises as you blast through the ice.
I can't resist using fire.
And underneath the ice, which is surprisingly thin on the waterfall, it breaks through and you can reach in and grab
I'll grab the strap of the bag and drag it out.
the strap of the bag. You drag it out, and as you do that, pieces of ice fall away and something lunges up out of the water. Right. Oh shit, it's right next to you as well.
Oh, fuck
What
it.
the fuck?
Yeah, let's roll some initiatives, guys.
Let's roll really high so I can run away.
Let me
What the heck?
request a roll.
Bollocks.
Request a roll. Oh, hang on, that was a perception check, wasn't it? Yeah, that was. Sorry, that was on me. That was all on me. Request a roll.
Oh, fucking cosmic.
We're
I'm
going
going to
to
roll for.
fly.
In what world do you think it's okay to go off exploring by yourself? I mean, really?
Hang on, he just said creatures.
Yeah. Round 1. Let's see who goes where. Who was first and who is dead? Right, Lantesh, you don't know anything's happened yet. Neither of you, Bjorn.
I'll send it. Either within telepathic range to ask them how things
What's your
go.
telepathic range?
60 feet, I think.
Nah, they're not. Right, the creature goes first. Yeah.
Hell surprise.
Effect invisible in water and thus ice. Right, the creature
Oh,
is like slush. If you imagine it, it seems to be made up of water and frozen ice particles, and it tries to wrap itself around. I'm going to roll randomly because it doesn't care which one of these it goes for. So 1 to 3, salmon.
He grabbed its lunchbox.
Yeah, you shouldn't have grabbed its lunchbox, salmon, but it goes for you. The ice cold water swirls around you. You can feel it getting in your clothing, and it rolls a natural 1. You bastard. That is its turn. Salmon, it's your turn next.
burning hands.
Light it up.
The only trouble is, if I don't burn in hands this thing, the issue I'm going to have is if I withdraw, I'll not be able to cover your withdrawal. So we just have to kill it.
Yes, you're quite right. I was planning on killing it.
No, my telepathy is unlimited range, according to the spell.
I put it in your description. Did you see in your journal?
Just go.
Yeah, if you look in your journal, Dave, there's a telepathy thing with all of the
We're
things for it.
Going to fucking die.
Right, it's wounded. Yeah.
I will say, heading off to the demi-plane of steam, mate.
Actually, you melt quite a lot of the ice in it, and it seems to have helped it as it now moves faster and more fluidly.
That's fine.
Yeah. Next up, we have Oren.
Right. Well, I think we'll try and do this the sensible way. We'll move first.
Hmm.
Right, hang on. Target the creature. Presume I've got it targeted, have I?
You have,
Yeah.
yeah. I can see your big yellow friendly arrows.
Jolly good. And it gave me such a fright, I'm going to put my little mucky mark on it.
Okay.
And I think we'll try and put an arrow in it.
Right. You shoot creature, and the arrow goes in and seems to do some damage to it.
Jolly good.
And then are you moving?
Yep.
Okay. So you try to move, it gets a free attack on you. It misses, so you indeed run back.
Just far enough to be in archery range.
Yep. Asa, you're fine yet? You don't know what's happening yet?
Nope.
So skip Lantesh. Bien, do you want to send your telepathic message?
Yeah,
Who are you opening telepathic communication with?
to Earl and
No, it's got to be one creature.
I open it to Corin.
Okay. And what do you say? Corin, somebody begins to speak in your mind. So what do you say, Dave?
How's it going, Corin? This is Beyond.
There's a horrible ice monster in here, and it's kicking lumps out of us.
I tell Aisha that and Lantesh.
Well, no good for us. We got to see where the hell they are. It's dark in there.
It's not
Tell
that
them to-
dark for me.
Tell them to get out of the cave.
Okay.
I tell him this.
Yeah, well, if we're not back in a couple of minutes, we're little greasy smears on the floor.
Right, it hits. I actually need to read this one.
Oh, please don't.
Right. It hits you. It does damage. and then
Hiya.
envelops you. You're now grappled and restrained. You can't cast any spells that require somatic components.
Okey doke.
And then it wraps itself around you, gets on top. It's the big spoon. Icy freeze and cold permeates your board. Salmon. I'm just going to move it off to the side a bit because obviously if you're targeting and stuff, it'll not help. But that is on top of Salmon, surrounding him in a huge icy column, whipping round.
There's nothing I can do because all of my spells are semantic.
You can attempt to break grapple.
I will attempt to break grapple.
Bottom of your character sheet, you go to break grapple and drag it and drop it on the creature, which looks quite terrifying now that I look at it. Yeah, it just squeezes closer. Corin,
Yep.
the creature has engulfed Sandman completely.
Right. I need to do a bit of movement here, I think. Now, if I try and put myself there.
It's in dim light as well, so you're going to be at disadvantage if you can't see it.
So is it basically on top of Sanwan?
Yeah, it's completely engulfing him. It's just obviously it messes the target, so it's like that.
Right. Have I still got it targeted?
You do.
Right. Well, let's have a go and we'll put another arrow in it because that seemed to work the last time.
It hits. The arrow passes through the semi-creature, does half the damage to Salmon. So Salmon takes 6.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Sanwan.
So Salmon takes 6 and it takes 6 flesh.
Ow.
That puts you to 21 wounds.
There is literally nothing I can do here.
Keep shooting.
Are you sure?
Bloop.
Blub, 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 blub. Right, yes. So is that your turn?
Yeah, it'll have to be.
Well, you've got movement left. I think you haven't used your bonus action, but I don't think there's anything you can do with it really.
Well, to there maybe.
Right. You move back and with horror realise that it has a 10-foot reach and thus can attack you as a reaction.
Oh no, that's all right. That's it.
Right. It hits you. A pseudopod of icy water shoots out. And it beams you for 16 damage. You lose concentration on your tosser's mark. But you now move back.
Right.
Here, Isha. Yes. Ben has shouted a warning that things seem to be in a bad way.
Right. I will cast Continual Flame on. Hang on, let's see. Can I cast it on my shield?
I don't know. I don't even know what it does.
A flame equivalent in brightness to a torch springs forth on an object that you touch. The effect looks like a regular flame, but it creates no heat and doesn't use oxygen. Continual flame can be covered or hidden, but not smothered or quenched.
Yeah. Just cast it on yourself.
I'll cast it on my shield, and then I will.
But presumably you'll just apply the effect to yourself, and it'll give you the effect of a torch.
And then I will sprint.
Did you cast that on yourself?
Yeah, because everything was dark, and then it appears to be
lit up. Yeah.
Yeah, lit up.
And then you move forward into the cave.
Oh shit! Hang on, there's a problem here. It says it does not have items in the inventory that match the requirements.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Right. Okay.
Well, hang on. No, the spell requires ruby dust worth 50 GP. Yes, so you can't use continual flame unless you buy some ruby dust. So only the really expensive spell components. You can light a normal torch. That's fine.
All right. I like normal torch, but then if we're still alive, I'll swap that spell out after.
Yeah.
But I will.
That seems excessive for a spell that lets you cast a magical torch. Like, I'm sure Jeremy Crawford knows what you're doing. You move into the cave. You don't see anything. End of round. New round. Lantesh.
Go and help them. I'll be okay.
I think we need more from you, Dave. So you move 15 feet to the edge of the cave, running out of the tent, leaving
I moved
Dave
25 feet there.
leaving nobody to spoon.
I had to. It seemed to be an emergency. Can't see anything there, even with me in for vision.
If you could see them, you would see them.
You can see my ass.
Line of sight works perfectly, so if you can see them, you can see them. Aisha is running ahead. Have you all got crampons on, so you're not making athletics checks?
Yeah.
I'll
okay.
Tink,
Do
another 25 feet then.
You all make tink 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 noises as you run across the icy floor. That's your turn. Ben, there's not really anything you can do, is there? Well, I mean, you could run out naked with a battle axe. That would be awesome. A completely bare dwarf warrior running down the icy tunnel.
A bear Ben.
A bear Ben. Are you doing anything there?
I'll try and maintain contact with them.
Okay.
With Earl's character anyway.
You said Corin a minute ago. Corin,
Well,
you mean?
Corin.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a creature's portal. It now constricts. Yeah. Just it rolls to hits as the water continues to attempt to kill you. You should be. Yeah, it gets advantage now, however, and crits.
I really dislike water.
Ow.
Okay. Right, you have an internal injury and you pass out from the damage. Okay, Corin, with a strangled gasp, glug, 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 Sandman stops moving.
Hang on, there is but one thing left that I can do here. I do hope Sandman does not live to regret it. I am going to change weapons.
Yep.
And I need to move forward first. Yep.
Yep.
Right. And I need to change my target. My target is Sandman.
You are. He's still inside the creature, by the way. So you can't like bandage him through the creature.
No, but I can shove my hand in.
Oh, okay. And what are you going to try and do?
I'm going to try and cast a Cure Wounds on Sandman by stuffing my hand into the creature, grabbing hold of Sandman, and hitting the hail button.
Fuck yeah, I'm up for that.
I approve.
Right, Sandman, you pass out. Water's in your lungs. You're gasping for breath. Corin's got his hand inside you.
And if I have a bonus action, can I offhand this thing with my short sword?
Yeah. Why the fuck not?
Right, hang on. I shall just short sword. I'll change that to offhand. Hang on, I just need to change my targets again. By me, would you?
It's a hit, and you have flanking advantage. Hurrah! You do a cut. It almost goes through the water, but it does seem to have a small effect upon it.
Right, that's me.
Ballsy.
I'm now going to die horribly.
Yes, yeah.
But I will save my mate.
Right. I will carry on down the tunnel. I don't think I've got torch effect on because it's just a black wall in front of us.
Just equip a torch.
Okay, hang on.
You just go into the inventory and equip a torch.
Go sort of southeast.
There you go.
Okay.
There's less rock walls that way.
Well, if I had a torch, I would have run.
That's southwest, basically.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I don't know if there's something wrong, because all I can see is a gap to the southwest where I've just tried to move to.
You just need to keep going east, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I think I just lagged because I can suddenly now see. Yeah.
That's 35 feet of movement. Are you dashing?
I'm dashing.
You run ahead. You've come to another wall.
Dash is twice your movement.
No, you make your normal movement of 30 feet, and then you can dash for another 30 feet. So you move 15, so you can move another 15 feet. You move 60 total. Right, you see torchlight, Corin, coming up behind you.
I can see a light.
There's a light over,
yes,
at the
over at the
Frankenstein place. Right, Lantesh.
I scream, we're over here. Well, I shout,
It echoes.
It would.
Can I say anything?
You see Aisha's running to the southeast.
I'll dash. I'll do another 25 feet then.
I can say Lantesh.
So that's your turn. Ben, It's your turn again.
I'm blind, Dick, I'm blind.
It's the creature's turn. Earl is still inside it, and he's still breathing, so he's going to have another attack, Earl.
I wasn't a minute ago. I could play it. Oh.
Bollocks.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Water forces its way into your lungs. Icy water. Luckily, it doesn't have multi-attack. Right. Okay, that's your turn, basically. Corin, Danman.
Right. Here we go again, then. Right, so take the target off there, put the target on there.
You're just going to keep...
I'm going to try and keep them alive till the rest of them get here.
Good plan.
Right. In, out, shake it all about.
Yeah, Salmon can't
God
get...
almighty.
Salmon can't get the air. Keeps coming back. You have to make a DC 15 Constitution check. Remember to act. Sorry, Constitution save. You've got internal injuries, Salmon.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to try burning it again.
Absolutely
with
not a problem. You hit. It doesn't seem particularly hard to hit.
No.
It does seem hard to damage, however. But you do seem...
Yes, but I'm rather hoping the fire users around here might be able to do something to help.
Yes, yeah. This is exciting. I like it. We should split the party more often. I don't know why people say you shouldn't do that. Isha, it's your turn.
Right, I will dash again.
But no, move your 30 feet first, because you may not need to dash.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll move you 30.
Bloop.
Right,
Right.
remember that water wade is actually over the top of Sandman. It's just it fucks targeting up.
Right.
He's engulfed by it,
And I've got my arm in it.
and he's going to write a story about it called "It Shouldn't Happen to a Ranger."
Basically, yes.
If I cast Toll the Dead, now the description says if you point at one creature you can see within range and a sound of its aura spell fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If I do, basically Toll the Dead him, as it's wrapped around Samuel, will he take damage?
Well, you don't know until you try.
Well, anything I try and do could possibly bloody hurt them. Okay, I will try a Toll the Dead, just because the description on it. And I'll try and literally blow it off him.
And if it works, it will take D12 damage because it's injured.
Yeah.
You see Corrin madly put his arm inside it, stabbing it with the other hand. He doesn't seem to be hitting Sandman, however, when he's using a melee weapon. It fails, so you can do your D12 damage. Oh, yeah, it takes the 9 damage. Yeah, ripples, as the bell tolls, ripples run up and down the surface of the creature. Earl doesn't seem to have been in.
Good.
Landesh.
And cast magic missile on it because I don't want to hit the water up because I might damage them too. But magic missile might be the safest bet.
Well, magic missile will automatically hit at the target you're choosing.
Well, the thing, the thing. I'll hit the thing.
Right, 6 damage is taken. The creature is still engulfing around. Is that your turn? You still have a little bit of movement, or are you just hanging back on the ice?
I'm just hanging back there.
Ben, you can't really do anything except give people moral support via telepathy, I guess, and hear outrageously scary whispering. We're back to the water weird again. Who will attack Salmon? Because, what else can he do? It's another hit. More damage.
Yeah.
Festering wound. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 1 for every 24 hours the wound persists. Nasty. Doesn't sound good, does it? Salmon passed out once more. Oh yeah, right. Salmon is not looking good there. Corrin.
Right. Can you cast a bonus action spell in place of your normal action?
No.
Right. So you've got to cast one as an action order. Right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
that you can. That's all that sorcerer meta magic crap way and swap actions about, so you can't just do it as a normal character.
No, you're all right. You're all right. Right. I'd like to take my bonus action first. Am I still targeting the beastie?
You are.
Right. Well, we'll put Tosser's mark on the beastie.
Yeah.
And then
that's your last spell slot.
I know. Well, in that case, I may as well change that back to two-handed. Bloody hell, I know, proper hand.
Yeah, it cycles through them.
I know. Just give us a bit of a shock there. And let's see if we can.
Hurrah! Right. But you're cutting at it, but again, it doesn't seem to be taking as much damage as you wish. Here, share.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that the rest of them will get the Tosser's mark bonus.
We don't.
No, only you, sadly.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we've just got to kill this.
Yeah. I suggest casting lots of first level spells and cantrips at it.
Is it it's completely enveloped them, but
it's completely surrounded them.
Is there like the blob? Is it just around him, or is it the bits hanging off, a couple of foot past his body sort of thing?
No, it's like the blob. He's completely immersed in it.
All right.
Like a toy soldier in a bucket of children's slime.
In that case, I'll move up a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cast Toll the Dead again.
It fails. You can do your D12 damage. Oh, looky. So the bell goes bong, and the ripples shudder through this icy water creature up and down. But this time it starts to disperse, and then with a sploosh, it disappears. Earl collapses to the floor.
Can I
Then
get to,
with
can I
a
get to
bonus
work on
action,
someone?
I cast Healing Word on someone.
Okay.
Good man, good man.
Right. Once more, Earl, for like what, the fourth time? You wretch, coughing up icy water. I'm going to say your cold weather clothing's ruined as well. Well, not ruined, but you know what I mean. It doesn't work currently.
I'm going to take out that lantern, right, and light it up just to make sure there's no other of these fuckers around here. Because I take it whatever it is look like elementally type thing.
It did. You light it up and there are no. The colour doesn't change.
Right, I'm going to pick up this backpack by the strap, look at Sandman and go, this had better be fucking worth it, and then march off in the direction of the tent.
Right, so leaving you lying on the ground, Sandman, Corrin marches off back towards the tent.
Anyone give us a drag back?
I'm going to drag you, don't worry.
Thank you, dear.
I'm gonna remove some effects on you because I feel kind of bad. I'm gonna remove the grappled effect.
If you'd left him dead, I could have put him on the disc, and then you could have revived him once we got him out of the cage. Cave.
He can't cast revive yet.
I know.
Oh no!
I've got a wet hand.
Right, so are we all retreating back to the tent?
Yes.
Yes, I will grab Sandman with my good hand and drag him out. With this cry of Drake, we are leaving.
Right, so yeah, so this stealth mission, that's gone all the fuck then, hasn't it? With all the shouting, the fighting.
Worked well.
Andy stomping about in scale mail. Yeah. So you all gather together in the tent, looking much worse for wear. Lost Lantesh as well. Lantesh has even disappeared somewhere.
Where have I gone?
She must have seen an Amazon van coming.
Yeah.
Bugger off.
Right, so you congregate in the tent. Are you going to attempt to take a long rest?
Yes.
Yes, I think that's probably the best idea.
Okay, well, I am going to nominate, get rid of B5. I'm going to nominate Aisha for the random encounter wall, because I could make it, but why do that when I can force the PCs to do it? Go on, Aisha, roll that die. Oh, sadly, you managed to get a long rest without further incident. That is
Thank
another
God for that.
8 hours, and you've missed the seance.
While we're having our long rest, can I tip the contents of this backpack out on the floor and say what's in it?
Yes, sadly, it is a normal explorer's pack, which contains, it's what you get when you start. So you've got a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a water skin, and 50 feet of rope.
We needed that. That was worth it.
Can we all consume a ration, please?
Yep. I shall pack it all up and then put it down next to Sadwin and go, there you are.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right, 8 hours later, it's the middle of the night. It's as cold as it's ever been. You've managed to dry out. Yeah, consume a ration. Either hit your consume ration button or...
down there, isn't it?
Yeah, or you can manually delete your rations by one. It's just that if you hit the consume ration button thing, it sorts it out there.
I'm having one of them nights. Hang on. There, ration. Consume ration. There we go.
Right, so you eat your cold, dry, salty fish. You manage to dry out Sandman's cold weather clothing. You manage to dry out Maiden's cold weather clothing. It's now the middle of the night, but nothing has come out and eaten you so far. So that's good.
Well, that's a bonus.
You think it's worth having a proper look in that cave then?
Well, we'll probably best go up to the cave above, because I've got a feeling that it mightn't be a great idea to try and climb a, what you call it?
Well, I suppose we've all got crampons on.
Yeah, well, the waterfall looks scalable. It's a 10-foot short but tall sheet of ice. It does look scalable.
All right, we'll go that way then.
And the other hazard of releasing the water creature trapped in it, that you already solved that problem. Or you could climb up to the ice ahead of you, or there's the caves to the north here.
Well, how about since we're right below it, we can go up the ice ahead of us. Can we use a grappling hook to hook the ledge? Or since it's only 10 feet tall, can we just have Aisha throw someone up? Like,
the one ahead of you is 20 foot tall. The waterfall is 10 feet tall. You've got a 20-foot climb to climb up the ice ahead.
Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast Spider Climb and give it I tuck the grappling hook over my shoulder and like in the back of my belt, and I'm away up climbing.
Nice. So you sprint up the side, because you've got crampons and spider climb. So you sprint up and you end up here, basically.
Spider climb lasts 8 hours.
You can see into a cave ahead.
Ooh, right. I'll secure the grappling hook and give a little tug on the rope. So I'm not going to yell down, but a little tug on the rope so they know that that's secure. And I'll wait here I'm not
I'll
stupid.
scrum-
I'll wait
I'll
here for
scramble
them.
up next.
I was going to say, if you take a minute to knock the rope, anyone, you don't need
It's
to make
fine. She secures
All
the
right.
rope. You get up. I'm not gonna like nickel and dime you.
Thank you.
You climb up the rope. Is everybody going up? Yes, one
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you climb up the rope and you can see a narrow tunnel ahead.
I am going to light a torch.
Go on then, light a torch.
Can I see any heartbeat tracks?
You can't see any heartbeat tracks. No.
Did
Any
that
tracks
work?
at all?
Yeah, I'll let you have a survival roll, Dave.
A gnome's being this way. Oh, wait.
Ah, yeah, a gnome with 8 legs, apparently.
Okay, I'll wait a bit to see if anybody's going to help you, Dave, but they didn't. So there's your survival roll. You have disadvantage. Oh, because you still got exhaustion. No, Dave, there is not heartbeat tracks, but there is definitely signs of some kind of pawed creature, but they seem quite large.
I'll point this out to Corin. He might be able to identify it, but I've got a feeling it's probably something like a big bear.
Or a crag cat or something.
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be delicious in a curry.
I was thinking that.
Good, yay, goody.
Right, whilst they're doing this, I'm taking a moment to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay, down 2 slots already. Love it.
Yep.
Well, I suppose, do you want me to creep on ahead?
Can do.
Right, we'll go then.
I'll hang back.
Right,
And I
Corin.
shall have the-
Corin clanks forward again. Let's do your stealth roll because you're great at these.
Oh, I know I'm awesome. Just so awesome.
Actually, he's surprisingly quiet as he
Nobody ever
creeps.
hears me coming.
He creeps forward. Nobody hears the Spanish Inquisition. You creep forward, Corin.
Yep, one arrow out.
And Bjorn, are you stomping behind him?
I try to stealth.
Well, I'm sure you'll be brilliant out there. I've got every faith in you. Alas, Ben is not as stealthy as Connor. So you head off down this cave. You can see it opens up at the end of the cave. It opens up into what appears to be a wider cave. You can just see the glinting white of bones ahead.
Cosmic. Well, I'd better that'll do.
So you head forward into the entrance of the cave. Sadly, Corin can't see very far.
Oh, God.
But
There's got to be a way of mounting a torch on a miner's helmet.
you could just carry a torch and...
Well, I could, but it's kind of difficult to use a longbow when you're carrying a torch.
And
Right.
as you peer into this chamber, strewn with what looks to be bones, a low growl, an enormous wolf steps out the side
Or does he
of
really?
the chamber and begins to growl. His hackles up.
Does he really?
He does.
I'll put an arrow in him then.
I'm on the ceiling, by the way. I'm gonna like stand on the ceiling, watch these lot do like meaningful work down there below me.
I'll give the furry little faggot something to growl about.
I'll also cast Mage Hand and give them give it a torch to hold to save Corin having to carry one.
Nice one. Ta very much.
You're welcome. I'll just spectate here because that's my
Okay,
bit done.
so I will put your torch on you, Andy.
Right.
Can you see a torch light now? Yeah, I can see it flickering.
Yes, I can.
Was I meant to have a perception check?
Initiative check.
All right, I got perception. Yeah, I think I got 2 rolls.
Hold on a minute.
That far as being on the roof.
Yeah, that's for you, bit through. I'm trying to find my big giant wolf. Where are you, big giant wolf? Could be I put it in the wrong one. I did, yes, I put it in the wrong one. Thank God my big giant wolf can have an initiative roll. 20, not 20. Right, Corin goes first. You're gonna...
Right, I'm going to move just enough to make space for people to get round me. And then I think we'd better do the usual, hadn't we?
fire at the snarling wolf.
Yeah.
Wolf curry, wolf sandwiches, wolf casserole.
Love a wolf butty, mate.
Furnickers.
You're joking.
You fire and you miss, sadly. The creature seems more agile. Running forward,
He bites me.
he bites you. Yeah. Easily getting within range. So fast.
Get off.
In fact, it's much larger than you are. And it's...
Ha! I
you
can take that.
succeed. But can you do this?
Probably not.
Failure. So you go prone as it grabs you by the leg, drags you to the ground, starts to
Oh.
worry at you. Arr, arr, arr. Salmon, you hear this growling noise. This current is drag prone. So you can't have another long rest until tomorrow. So what are your plans, Sam?
I'm going to press forward because I still can't see anything.
And Thatcher attempt to find somewhere to get killed. This time,
She's on the roof, isn't she?
yeah, she's
Yep.
on the roof.
All right, okay. How big is this thing?
Huge.
Uh,
It's like nearly 15 feet.
chromatic orbit.
You should be able to see the size. The outer square of your character is the size of the character or the creature. So the green outline is how big a space you take up. And the creature, the red outline, is how big a space you take up. Hit the wolf.
Ouch! All the dice.
Chromatic orbit, and it is wounded.
I'll stay there.
Yeah, then.
I moved it there and give it a whack.
Right, whack away. Critical hit.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow, with a massive swipe at it, it whimpers as you do heavy damage to it.
Can I get what you call it? That was it second wind or whatever they call it?
Yeah. Just take your second wind and then you take another
I mean,
swing.
it's action surge, isn't it?
Yeah, second wind's hail. So you give it another whack, and then wow, a 20 and then a 1. Well done. Isha. Corin is on the floor, being worried by a giant wolf.
Right, I move to there, and then I target the wolf, and I cast. I will cast Toll the Dead.
Succeeds and shrugs off your evil bell.
Go.
Lantesh dancing on the ceiling.
Right. I'm going to move a little bit closer. How tall is this cabin, by the way?
The ceiling's probably about 15 to 20 feet in places. So we'll put you up. Look, there you go. You're 15 feet in the air.
Right, I'll move to there.
It'll still be in melee range if you're casting something that has a hit chance.
And I'm going to cast magic missile.
Okay. At least you're getting good use out of those magic missiles. So you've used one second spell slot, one first spell slot, and then another first spell slot. Pew, pew, pew. 3 bolts of force strike the wolf. It's still heavily damaged. Corin, you're prone on the ground, being worried by a big dog.
Right. Do you get any disadvantages for being prone?
You do. You're normally at a disadvantage for stuff. You can attempt to stand up if you like, but I'll do the roll for you because I drag it off the wolf and drop it on you.
Right, because what I was going to say was, because the wolf is so much bigger than me and I'm only a hobbit, I want to argue that I don't get disadvantage for being prone because I am now fighting the underside of the wolf.
Well, you're kind of fighting the teeth end of it because it's got hold of your leg and pulled you to the ground, and it's like worrying at your leg. So you're not under the wolf. It's grabbed hold of your leg basically.
Well, we'll have to try the standing up thing then.
Yeah, I'll give you a strength saving throw. You succeed. You use half your movement and you stand upright.
Right.
The dog leaves 4 of you temporarily. I'm just
I've been it with my short sword.
There you go. You beat it with your short sword.
Yep.
Hitting again, and you kill it. How do you kill the giant wolf?
As it reaches down to take another chunk at me, I just put the sword straight in its mouth and then go up
and stab it through the brain. The sword pops out through one of its eyes and it falls dead to the ground.
I skin it.
Excellent. It will take an hour. It's a large creature.
That's fine.
Everybody want to just wait an hour?
I'm going to have a look around
Yeah.
On the ceiling, so I'm pretty safe up here.
You've got a bird's eye.
Yeah, I've got bird's eye view.
Right. Okay. You search around and you find basically old white bones. It doesn't seem to be anything as fresh as the humans that you were sent to.
Is there only one way in and out? There's no other.
Yeah, there's a cave at the back of the room, but that is a dead end. It's like it seems to be there's a place where the wolf slept.
All right, okay.
13, so you get a medium hide from it.
Lovely.
I
shall scribble this down on me.
And like 20 pounds of wolf meat. But that
right.
If somebody's going to carry them.
Yes. Well, hang on. Wait a minute.
Which is absolutely fine. Who's carrying the explorer's pack, or have you left it? Have you left the tent?
Leave it in the tent.
Have you left the tent upstairs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so you got 20 pounds of meat.
Right.
And you've got. Hang on.
Yeah, medium wolf hide. I'm not carrying the meat, and as soon as we get home, I would like that made into a hat.
Oh, so you want the one with the tail, or maybe the head bit?
Yes.
So it's a medium pelt. Add to the party.
Well, you could have the head bit, but have the tail hanging off the back of the head.
So who's carrying this weight? This 20 pounds of meat?
Give it to me.
Yeah, just drag it out of the party fund there, Dave.
Oh, I think you might like this.
If you
sorry.
If you shift drag it, Dave, hold down shift and drag it onto your inventory will take all £20 at once. Right, so an hour later,
Can I have a short rest?
are you going to take a short rest as well? That leaves you one short rest again.
Might as well get a spell slot back.
Going to give Lantesh a short rest so you can use your divine. Anyone else taking a short rest?
No, I'm good.
I would, but I was busy.
Yeah, you were busy. Anyone else? No?
No,
Okay.
no.
He could use the healer's kit on himself.
Oh, I could, couldn't I? Bloody hell, thanks, Dave. Yes, I'd forgotten about that. Right, hold on. I'll get myself.
Yeah.
What am I like?
Or you can just drag the healer's kit plus thing and drop it on your token, if you want to just not target yourself.
All right, hang on.
It's like a shortcut. Just
Hang on.
drag it on your token.
I've got to find the bloody thing first.
Next to your healer's kit, then tick off for you. There you go.
Shocking.
You bandage you in. So now, after the skinning, what do? You've been very fortunate. You have not had any random encounters.
Right.
Time.
Whatever they're going to do, can you just give us a couple of minutes? Yeah, I've just got to nip off and do something.
Right, okay, we'll take a few minutes break.
All right.
Okay, so you reassemble at the bottom. We're not going to go through the, oh no, we're going to roll every fucking single thing. So you reassemble at the bottom. The wolf's cave has nothing else of interest in it. Where are you heading? You've got 2 caves to the north and you've got the waterfall.
Waterfall, I think.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Don't make to scurry up or down.
Right, so edging forward, he's managed to reach the waterfall without further incident. Luckily, you freed the trapped monster that was in the waterfall, so you don't have to worry about that coming out. Tracy, yes, it would only be a DC 10 athletics check. However, it's quite easy for you to just spider climb up the wall or whatever and onto the top. You get to the top and you see the ice river continues to the northwest, but there's a stone passage to the continues to the northeast. Are you all climbing up?
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
secure it and wait for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ice river continues to the northeast. And there's a stone passage to the east.
Better go and have a look in there then.
Sorry, cast me mage hand, stick a torch in it so Corin's got his hands free and I'll go behind him.
Isn't that concentration though? Just future reference.
Wait a minute. Doesn't say.
It will be bracket C if it's concentration, I think.
Doesn't say. Just says one action. Casting time, one action. Conjuration cantrip. Doesn't say.
Oh no, the hand lasts for the duration until you dismiss it as an action.
Yeah.
It disappears if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you.
Yep.
Okay. So it spookily floats behind Corin. There's a natural stone passage leading off to the east, Corin, or there's the river continues to the north. Rose.
What do we reckon, chaps? River or passage?
Passage first.
Passage.
We'll do the back passage first.
Always wise,
There
but
we
can
go.
lead to infections.
Okay, so you head down the passage.
I'm hanging back.
I'll just keep within range so that Corin's got light.
I love the
Just
fact
need
that
to
it's walking on the ceiling.
Have you still got
Yeah.
light, Corin?
I'll walk on the ceiling and
I
free up some
don't-
space
I
for
don't-
them.
Think so.
You've
Wait a
got
minute.
hasn't Tracy got a mage hand with a torch following you?
See,
Oh, am I meant to put a torch on it? Or
No, I'm just saying.
all right.
Because I've clicked the add light.
I don't have anything.
Add torch to the select token.
I've got a torch
That's not
on
bad.
us.
Yeah, it's okay. There's an effect with the torch. I can just drop it on your handy.
All right.
It's just I have a button. The button should work. The button is not working.
Yeah, I'll walk on the ceiling so I'm not
yes.
taking up movement
Light.
terrain.
Hang on.
Let there
That-
be light.
That looks distinctly to me like a very narrow passage. It's not.
Yeah, the passageway goes into some almost natural stairs leading up.
Right. Can I go just far enough up the stairs so I can kind of see the floor level at the top?
Yes.
So sort of probably
So
about
you're about there.
right.
Actually, no, it's there because there's a terrain at the bottom. That's why you can't see up the top of the stairs.
Right.
Quite clever. So you move up and peer into that room. You should be able to see that entire room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I can't
It's-
see anything in it.
It's
Fine.
higher in elevation than the tunnel lead to it, and the natural stairs lead up to it. On clear nights, the moonlight enters the cave through natural fissures in the ceiling. Blood paints the icy floor, indicating that one or more creatures were killed here. The blood drags head off to the northeast.
Right.
As you look down to examine the blood, the floor is actually transparent ice, and around 10 or 15 feet down, you can see a giant skeleton frozen into the ice.
A giant skeleton of.
A giant
Can I
skeleton.
tell?
Yeah, a humanoid giant skeleton
Ah, okay.
frozen
Right.
into the ice. But a lot of this place is semi-transparent or transparent ice.
Well, what am I on? No, hang on.
There's blood on the floor.
We'll nip across to there,
Yes.
keeping me back sort of against the wall, just in case there was anything hiding around that corner that I couldn't see.
Yeah, so this giant skeleton under the ice is sort of here. So you're like crossing over the top of it.
Right. Well, I'm trying to sort of cross around the edge of it because I've got a feeling that whoever stands right in the middle of it is going in, and I have no wish to make its acquaintance.
I'm sure you don't. The tunnel turns sharply north, and then I think you can see more branching tunnels just ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. The blood drag marks head north a bit and then turn to the east.
Right. So I think the best thing to do then is to go to there.
Right.
So
As
that-
you head up the corridor,
Uh-huh.
you see the corridor to the east turns to the south.
Yep.
And I don't think
And
you can
it's-
see further ahead to the north.
And well, from what I can say sort of up directly to the north, there appears to be some sort of the bottom end of a wall of ice or something.
Yeah.
And the blood trail goes round to
The corner
like
to the east, yeah.
yeah. Well, I look at Ben and Sandman and kind of point and then shrug my shoulders. Which
I'll
way?
nod.
Where's
I'll
the
point
blood
at the
going
blood.
The blood is
The blood-
heading down that way.
Oh, the blood's heading down that way.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not stepping. Oh, okay. Someone else can do that then. I was going to say I'm going to get eaten again.
I'll follow the blood trail.
Right,
I'll
Dave,
follow
you
you,
can
thanks.
see the flickering of a large fire casting shadows on the south wall ahead of you.
I shall move
And you
to there.
hear a strange humming.
Oh, you were gone. Right, I shall stick with my mate.
Oh, I'm going to go terribly wrong.
Everybody gathers up in the corner as usual, terrified to go down the steps. Like the blood goes down the steps as if somebody's dragged a body. This went dunk, dunk, dunk down these steps as you come down. Right, Dave, you step forward into a large cave. In the center of the cave is an enormous copper cauldron surrounded by rooms. And standing next to it is a white-haired old lady with a nanny pinny and small rimmed glasses and her hair tied in a white bun. And she's humming away, standing next to the corner. And she says, "Come in, dearie, come in."
We're gonna die.
This does not sound good.
Let me describe the room. Against the back wall is a large stone butcher's block. Several human figures, presumably the missing fishermen, lie gutted and cut up upon the butcher's block. She's stirring this large cauldron with an enormous wooden spoon.
How big is the cauldron?
Heaped around the block are rusty hatchets and flayed corpses of the four fishers from each cave. How big is the cauldron? You can see it on the map. Well, Dave can see it on the map.
Well, okay. Sorry, I can't say it. I was going to
Yeah.
say, can we see like bones and like limbs sticking out of it and stuff?
Well, you can't.
No, we'll do when I'm peek around the corner.
Dave, as you stand and look in horror, she reaches in and like dips her finger in the column, goes, "Oh, hot," and then drops something in it. Was it a carrot? Is that a human finger? You weren't quick enough to tell. Not in dark vision.
These other things look like carrots.
Oh.
She says, "Come in, have some soup. I've made plenty."
Mother, are you eating people?
Why, yes, dearie, but only the wicked ones.
And what makes you the judge of wickedness?
I'm Maud, but you can call me Nana Chiselbone.
Hello, Nana. So, what makes you the judge of wickedness?
Oh, it's the reason I was put upon this plane, dearie.
Please be so kind as to elaborate some.
Oh, well, some people have to judge the wicked. I mean, old Nana Chiselbone, she goes around East Haven and she tends the sick, and all she asks is just off the women around East Haven who've been falling down the stairs or bumped into the cupboard or spent all of the housekeeper money on fish wine. And she stirs this enormous pot, lifts the big wooden spoon on it. Oh, almost.
I actually somewhat approve of what you're doing.
That is wonderful to hear, dearie.
But do you have to make a giant bowl of soup with them?
Oh, well, without the seasoning, it's very bland. This cauldron, it's bland for me.
And you were put on this plane to do this, you say? From which plane did you cut?
Oh, now you don't want Nanny Chiselbone to tell all of the secrets.
Well, for someone who's so interested in other people's goings on, I'm sure that you don't mind telling other people yours.
Right, that large copper cauldron has a lot of runes around it, and they stand out to you because they're not the normal engraving of runes that you would find. There's definitely something unusual about it.
Uh-huh. Something portally.
She says, "It's cold, please. Would you come in and have some soup? I'll give you the foot. It's the crunchy bit."
Don't particularly eat people. Yetis, yes, but not particularly people.
I mean, Yetis, they're one haircut away from being people, if you see my meaning.
Oh, their eyes are delicious. But by the by, Aisha,
Everybody else, you notice, Earl, has stopped moving and is cowering at the top of the stairs, apparently not sure what the hell to do.
I'm not sure what to do, but I'm just letting me gob do the work. Aisha,
Yeah, that works out so well for you, doesn't it?
Has
No,
she
I
noticed
need
me
some
on the
time.
ceiling?
Have you moved forward? No, well, no, you're around the corner. You can't see it.
probably here though. Aisha, there's a young lady here making people soup, and she appears to be from another plane. I wonder if you have any input, being that you're, in the plane business.
Am I?
I find it unlikely. I'll give you a roll, though.
Well,
It's going to be hard.
Well, there's two means that one, religion is the planar thing, and two, it tends to be clerics and that deal without the planar stuff, and I'm at a loss.
No, Isha. This is not the plane that you're experienced in. You're experienced in worshipping the god of war. This is definitely outside your wheelhouse.
Not really. Someone, I mean, I suppose I could come round and smash a head in for you if you want.
Well, I think that's what we're deciding. I mean, all she's done is what the barmaid said someone was doing, and can you disapprove of someone killing people who knock their wives about? Because I don't.
I ask if she's heard the legend of the White Lady.
Oh, that silly spirit that sings in the sea, in the lake outside. Yes, she hangs around a chest out there. It's full of gold pieces. Silly.
Whereabouts in the lake does she hang around?
Right, as you get closer, Dave, you can see in the cauldron. The cauldron appears to have lumps of lamb and pork and leeks and potatoes floating in it. Disturbingly, with what looks like feet and hands and tongues.
Like a bit of tongue.
Just insult it, Dave. Look at them go. There's so much bloody oil in this bloody dish. The Americans want to invade it. That'll start a fight, and then we'll just kill them.
Rich, I'm on the ceiling, but I'm sort of going round so that I'm sort of behind her facing her back to her back. You'll get there eventually.
So you want to move round to there, or down there?
No, like north of her, if you know what I mean.
So there.
I've taken she's facing so that she doesn't. I've crept over on the ceiling as much as you can creep, but over there, and I'm keeping a close eye on her. I didn't like this.
Apparently not. Apparently it's only the GM that likes this. Aisha's still hiding around the corner and will not come out. So what is it to be, dearie? You want me to leave? Are you going to kill me? She says, and holds a hand up to her chin in mock fear.
Well,
We're
it
going to
could
let these wicked men wander around doing terrible things to the women that have no power over them.
I shall saunter forward
And get yourself some foot stew.
without me weapons drawn, and introduce myself as the group chef. I do a mean Yeti curry.
Andy, just say to her, no, we're not going to kill you. All we're going to do is give you a bad fucking review on TripAdvisor that will ruin your day. Fuck you.
She says it's almost dinner time. Are you sure I can't offer you anything to eat?
I shall whip out my little mess kid bowl and go, aye, go on then.
Oh, you're disgusting.
Right, so she spoons a whole bunch of steaming hot stew into a bowl for you, Andy, and it seems quite delicious. Although you do have some unidentifiable crunchy bits in it.
But as I'm sort of moving it round the dish with me spoon, I will just look up at her and go, they are all human, aren't they?
Oh, these are dairy, yes. But there's some of the blander meats like pork and lamb in there.
Well,
Where do you get pork and lamb from?
Oh, Davy, the cauldron it makes it. But it's a bit bland for me. have to spice it up a little bit. If you imagine like you're an old nanotype with a little apron on and 10 woodbines stuffed in the apron pocket and, like I said, a little white hair tucked in a bun.
You know, I'm more scared of somebody like that than like some massive giant or monster, because it's just not right.
Yeah, and like this is where the butcher block is at the back here. It's got all the 4 human remains all sort of chopped up on it. She says, I'll have to... luckily, it's quite cold because you notice she's not wearing cold weather clothing. She doesn't seem affected by the cold in any way. You notice it's a good job. It's quite cold, as I would have to salt the meat, and it's quite difficult to get salt here.
And it ruins the flavour, does it not?
It does.
Well, I suppose I shall dig me spoon in and try a spoonful of the broth.
It's tasty and nutritious, and
I sit around the corner and ask, so what do these men do to earn your wrath?
well, they're
Be
wise.
specific.
They're wise. They tell me that they beat the women. They spend their money. They're cruel, twisted, black-hearted men. Their own interests at heart.
Yeah, but the thing is, you kill their men, they don't get any money. These women end up starving.
Oh,
You were doing more harm than good.
I'm sorry, I'm not in the charity business, Theory. I'm in the vengeance business.
But if you're causing the ladies harm by doing that, don't you deserve to be vengeanced upon?
Oh, you're gonna pick on an old, defenseless woman in a little cave full of corpses. You get the feeling that she isn't taking this very seriously at all.
While she's engaged in conversation with these, I'm going to cast Hold Person on her.
Oh, okay. You cast full person, right? Nice. Actually, I need to do something as well. So, as you have moved closer. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. You cast full person, and she feels so safe, but it doesn't take hold. Bless you, she says. I'm assuming whole person has to be a humanoid target. Is that correct? Because she's not specifically immune to certain spells, but I think whole person has to be a humanoid.
She's a monster, ain't she? Probably some kind of summoned demon.
Yeah, chooses humanoid that you can see within reach. You cast the spell. The magic surrounds it, sparkles, but doesn't seem to take hold. Like it's like oil sliding on water. And as you say this, her features begin to change, and she grows long claws and black fingernails. Her face all withers and shrinks down till it's a wrinkled more. She opens her overly long jaws. It just hinges like a snake's, and it's full of razor sharp teeth. And she says, "You shouldn't have done that, dearie." Let's roll some initiative.
I didn't like all my party getting taken in by this. To be honest, I had to do something.
As a free action, can I just say to her, light me out with this? This soap is delicious.
I keep getting a perception check up with me initiative.
It must be bugged. It must be sending a perception check for some reason. Right, okay, so let me...
Oh, dear God.
Holy shit. Something's just got like 27 initiative.
Yeah, and it wasn't me.
Certainly bloody wasn't me. Can I not get that perception check instead?
Right, so our features change into a horrific appearance of a wrinkled hag-like creature. And you can see our true form now. Anyone within 30 feet must make a wisdom save throw or be frightened. So, let me target you all.
I
think I'm safe.
Tracy,
I thought I was
yeah.
outside the 30 feet radius.
You're 20 feet away?
From her?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. Because when you put that circle thing up, I thought I was all right.
Okay, so Dave is frightened, and as is Trish, you can't get any closer to her. And she turns her gaze upon you, Tracy, and you see her eyes turn black. It's like black oil flows in from the side. Right, let's talk, Tracy.
Girl power.
You succeed. You feel necrotic magic literally trying to pull your soul out of your body, but you resist it like that. And then she screams. Something appears. Come on, because it goes first. There you go. Boom. That appears, and that darts towards
you. Ooh.
It flies up to the ceiling, easily reaching you. It casts light as a torch, and then it shocks you with light. Ouch. Right, it zaps you with lightning for 7 damage. Now it is Maud's taking a turn. Ben, you can't get any closer to her, and any attacks against her are at disadvantage, which it'll take automatically into account.
All right, I'll try burning. Chromatic orb.
It misses because you are at disadvantage. You wish to move. Now, a terrible hag, creature of the fear. Dave, you are no longer frightened. Hurrah! Well done, sir. Aisha, what do you do?
Right, I cast Magic Weapon on my Warhammer,
Okay. I wonder if I can change her talk now that she's dropped her.
and I charge around the corner.
I'm going to try and change her talk. And I don't.
Actually, no, I don't, because I've used my action. I'll stay where I am for this turn.
Oh, yeah, it works. Yeah, so now you can see her true form.
Oh, blatant cosmic.
News what eating that soup?
Can I peek round the corner or not?
Well, she has an attack, Andy.
Without actually moving.
You can't do that because of the line of sight thing. It doesn't work. I can describe it to you, but you won't actually be able to see them. So Andy's standing next to the cauldron, next to this old lady who's turned into some kind of weird, wrinkled creature with long black claws. Lantesh is up on the ceiling being attacked by a ball of light, and everybody else seems to be running around like a headless chicken.
All right, I will hold my action for now because I want a full movement, but I'm going to get ready to charge in and smack the crap out of whatever is by the corner.
Okay. What are you doing, Simon? It's your turn.
Taking a few steps back, and then I'm going to target both of them and burn them both.
Okay.
I'll start with her because,
It hits. Fire, she says.
and I'll untarget her, target him.
You're getting so good at it. So now we know the party, apart from Andy, is firmly in that we're okay with wife beaters. We're not okay with vengeance fear. As long as I'm clear on this.
I'm not okay with wife beaters. I'm just trying to avoid everybody getting killed.
Yeah, the little
That's
light.
me.
That's your turn. Corin. She says,
Okay,
you're
one
all
more
right,
step
dearie.
back.
You eat as much soup as you like. I just need to deal with these people. You can have as much as you want.
Yeah. Mother, just hang fire a minute. You're putting me in a rather difficult position here. In principle, we don't disagree with what you've been doing. In actual fact, we kind of seem to think that those men who've been beating their wives shouldn't have been beating their wives and spending all the money on fish wine. And we're not really objecting to what you're doing. Now, I get the impression there's been a bit of a misunderstanding on some of our parts, perhaps. So is there any chance we could all have a bowl of soup and just sort of say no more about it?
I'm going to say make a persuasion roll.
Right.
And, you roll a natural one and me, Bolden. 18, she goes, she's holding her long claws out, and she says, very well.
Because this soup's banging.
If everybody has a big bowl of soup and eats it until the bowl is clean, then we will call it even.
Right, I shall look over my shoulder and go, line up, get your mess kits out. Do you want me to serve, Mother?
No human bits for me, though.
Now, you must eat your greens.
I feel that he may be under the influence of magic.
He's under the influence of Yeti Curry the other way.
I know it's this. I mean, I don't know if you are or not, but this seems charming to me.
Well, it's Lantesh's go. Terms have been stated. Corin stand there with a big grin on his face, holding a ladle full of soup.
And with his other hand, he's slurping the broth out of his bowl.
Just gotta check some.
Sorry, I'm vegetarian.
You don't know what you're missing here, Shay.
Is she badly injured? Does she look more injured than the wisp?
No.
All right, okay. Right. I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray. I'm gonna hit this wisp first.
Remember, if it's going to hit roll, it'll be a disadvantage attacking in melee. Saves don't, magic missile doesn't.
But if I targeted her, then
You're still in combat range for something, so it'll be
right,
disadvantage.
okay.
You can still roll it. It's just obviously if you have different spells to cast that either don't require to hit like magic missile or require a save, then you don't get the penalty.
I'm gonna magic missile the wisp that's on us then.
Okay. Deceive us, liars! You zap the wisp with magic missile, and it goes like that as you hit it. Okay.
Did it seem to hurt?
It hurt the wisp. Right.
All right, okay.
Aisha, behind you, you hear a loud gong, gong, crack noise. It's the wisp turn. It attempts to shock Lantench once more. It misses. You dodge. It's Maud's turn. Right, let's have a look at this. Targets one frightened creature you can see within 30 feet. Is anyone still frightened? Don't think so. That's quite sad, isn't it? Damn it! Okay, she'll have to go on with the claws. Unfortunately, she sees Ben close by, bounding across the room. Are you going to attack her, Andy, as she runs past you?
Well, I'm going to have to, aren't I?
Right, so she howls as you betray her. Well, and then you can whip your short sword out and make a quick attack against her.
Yep. Well, while clearly stating that it didn't have to come to this, and this is not what I wanted, and I wouldn't be doing this, but she's hurting my friends.
She fired first.
I didn't bloody fire first.
No, that thing on the ceiling. She looks plump. I will enjoy putting her in the pot. Right, Dave, she leaps forward, attacking with viciously long claws that hit. And you take slashing damage as they go straight through your armor, digging into your side. It is your turn. Oh, Earl is now within 30 feet. You can see her hideous appearance, Earl.
I will cast Burning Hands on her then.
You are frightened, Elster.
Oh, no.
Oh, she's dead scary. Go on then, cast Burning Hands. She failed. Roll your damage.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so you burn her face and it burns horribly and burns part of her hair off.
Can I do that? What do you call it again?
Action surge.
Action surge.
Yes.
Now, can I cast Burning Hands again on her?
I believe you can only cast one spell a turn. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right then, I'll just have to hit her with my Warhammer then.
Right, okay. So you can't have your shield out because you had to use hands to cast. So unequip your shield, but you can pull your Warhammer out with your action surge and hit her. So take your swing as you let loose your mighty swing and miss. And then what you wish to do.
Do I have a chance of second wind on myself?
Yeah, I think you use second wind at any time. Or is it an action? It'll say if it's an action or a bonus action if you look at the ability. You're going to have to know your characters. I can't keep you opening everybody's character sheets.
Bonus action, it says.
Well, you haven't used your bonus action yet. So you can second wind. Okay, so Dave seconds wins with his bonus action, and that's his turn. Aisha.
Right.
Great cracking of ice noises come from behind you.
Right. I'll look behind me because I can't actually see anything in my line of sight.
That's right. You can't say anything yet. Just bong.
It'll be that fucking giant skeleton, won't it?
So what do you want to do?
Okay. I am going to go around the corner and smack the crap out of weird girl, of Karen.
That's a bit rough. Wait, let's tell Karen you said that.
Not your Karen.
You didn't specify a Karen.
And I should have a magic weapon on as well.
I don't know what that does.
Hang on, I'll let you know.
It means his weapon becomes magical and so it can hit creatures that can only be hit by magical weapons.
Yeah, well, this should be just an effect then, I guess.
Yeah, I cast it before, but it's the first time I've cast it.
Yeah, well, when you cast a spell, you have to apply the effects, remember? Because it's
Yeah. I applied that. It said it would work, but obviously it's the first time I've ever actually used it, so we'll have to see if it works. If you know what I mean.
Self. Let's have a look here. Here's your effect. Yeah, you've got a magic weapon on yourself yet, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll work. As you roll so many D6, D20s, what the fuck?
Okay.
You got advantage, but you rolled twice, right? So you crit. Ouch, okay?
Oh, bam.
Bam. All right. Okay, she screams, All right, enough. I'll give you what you want. I'll give you great treasures. I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else.
No, I think we need to drop this.
I can get that chest full of gold coins from the bottom of the lake for you. And I'll give you this cauldron of plenty. Without me, you'll not know the command word.
If she promises to leave this plane of existence as soon as she does what she says she will do, and don't come back for 101 years, I'm okay.
Very well.
That's what I agree with what he said. And call off the giant, or I'll turn you and it to burning piles of ash.
Right, and as you say that, the pounding stops.
Done deal, Granny.
Well bargained.
Don't forget the wisp on me.
Mortals. Yeah, the wisp comes and flies back to her. It's kind of like it follows her about, and then immediately blinks out of visibility.
Right. we've got a rest now. Our restaurant part of the inn is sorted.
Very well.
After we,
I'll give you the cauldron now. I'll leave the chest on the shores of the lake, at a place of your choosing, as the dawn rises.
On the jetty next to the
well,
the
we will get there
frozen
in time for the
herring.
dawn rise, so but somebody else might find it first.
That's a good point. Outside this cave.
On the shore outside this cave.
And she looks at you and says, and the evils that are performed by the vile people of East Haven are all upon you.
Yeah. And while we're on, I do hope you're not intending dawn. I mean, when this is all over and everything's back to normal and the sun actually does rise in the sky.
No, I
Just checking.
bargained, and I do not ever lie. My people are unable to lie.
Very well, Granny.
Of thick. This is just wow.
This will go nice in our inn.
This is just wow.
We'll be able to feed.
It's in the
feed the
party.
minis.
So this cauldron is 4 squares, so it's 10 feet and weighs 50 pounds. It comes with a lid and side handles. So she shouts, "Sleep, sleep, big one," and her and a willow wisp depart.
Did she tell us the word?
Yes. She tells you the command word. Just fill it with water, and after stirring it, the instructions are all in the parcel. You shouldn't have a problem reading it. It's you pour the water into the cauldron, heat it, stir it for 1 minute. It turns into hearty hot stew, which can provide for 1 nourishing meal for up to 4 people per gallon, and it will hold 30 gallons.
That's what inn taken
And it
care
works
of.
3 times a day, so we're pretty sorted for food.
Do you allow her to go?
Yeah.
Right. She disappears, as does the wisp.
Think we finish searching the place?
I'll just have another bowl of this.
Will you stop eating people?
It's like, it's chewy.
But it's like, Andy, is it technically cannibalism?
Well, I'm a hobbit. Of course it's not.
Yeah, they're a hobbit. It's not cannibalism, is it?
And I'm only having the veg and the broth.
Right, so you've defeated the
God.
monsters except for the sleeping giant, but he has gone back to sleep at the command of Nanny Chiselborn. I'm going to unlock the map for you, Pete. Table, line of sight, table lighting. So you explore at your leisure the rest of the place as it is now empty of creatures.
Right, we will have a quiet explore.
Oh, what's that place with the sleeping bag and the bits of paper on the floor?
Right, you can
Well,
see
we'll
the
go there.
giant skeleton, which had animated but now lies under the ice. Sleep.
Right, we'll head over.
So who goes where then?
Well, we've done the room of bones, so let's head to the room with the campfire thing in it.
And the sleeping bag and the paper on the floor.
Right, so climbing up again, you head across the icy bridge, which 20 feet above the frozen river. You reckon that you would have passed under it had you headed further north. But in the old camp contains an abandoned campsite. Searching the charred remains of the campfire, you can find 3 torn-out pages partially burned from a journal written in Dwarvish.
I can read
Dwarvish.
I can do that as well.
Go on, you do it then. While
Oh, go on.
I'll mend them while she reads them.
Oh, go
These
on.
dead fishermen, where's the clothing?
The clothing is shredded. It appears that Nanny has just cut them up and threw them into the fire to heat the cauldron.
Damn.
These caves, right, Tracy, the 3 pages here, these caves are sacred to the frost giants. The carvings on the wall suggest that the giants came here to drown themselves. Did they use the hot spring as a sacrificial pool? And then the second page says, the wind truly sounds like wailing women. One could easily go mad in this place. The third page says, I think there's someone else living in these caves. Shortly after discovering the hot spring, I heard what sounded like a granny singing. When the song ended with a shrill laugh, dread sunk its teeth into me. Ye gods, that horrible cackle. I shall leave these caves in the morning and never return.
All right. I'll import what I've learned from the pages, and that sounds like, some poor one person must have came in here for shelter through the night and overheard Granny there and got eaten probably eventually.
Can we head into that room with the 3 stones?
Yeah, sadly, this cave is empty except for 3 ice-covered pillars composed of mineral deposits. And the room to the north of that has ancient stick figure drawings carved into its northern wall. These must be the cave drawings that were referred to in the dwarf's diary pages.
Can I have an arcana, like a roll because of this being a sage, to see what I discern from the picture?
You certainly can, Christy. What is it?
Thank you.
It's DC 15 intelligence check. It's a success. Right, you can interpret the carvings which show frost giants wading up the river to a cavern that contains a hot spring in which they drown themselves. Presumably, though, the hot spring used to reside in that cavern to the northeast, because there's a lot of dead giant skeletons. However, the extreme cold seems to have even frozen over this mythic hot spring.
In that case, our time here is done. We may as well set up camp for the night, and then in the morning, pick up our chest and head back to RTB.
One thing, Rich, looking at these skeletons frozen under the ice, does it look like they might have equipment on them?
There might be, but they were ancient creatures. This was not happened like a few hundred years ago. This happened maybe thousands of years ago, and they've been underneath the ice and in water ever since.
So they go digging them up for loot then.
No. So you get another long rest, in which you can change spells. You wake up in the morning, and there's a waterlogged chest sitting on the beach.
Right. Let's hop in the boat. Well, actually, let's check the chest and get ourselves home.
I didn't expect that to actually fulfill our agreement, to be honest.
Won't we need to bring back the fisherman's body to prove that they're dead?
No, we weren't doing this for anyone, to be honest. We weren't employed to do it. We just did it because it was happening.
Yeah, you were. You were employed with powerful magical items from the captain.
I'll bring back bring back the pages as proof that people came for shelter in the cave.
Well, I've got an idea. We get the other boat, we tie it to our boat, we'll put the bodies of the fishermen in the other boat. And
Is that the boat you chopped up for firewood?
No, she only chopped up the oars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, surely if we pour the stew out of the stew pot, there'll be some bits of people in there, like skulls.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, yeah, the remainder of the fishermen, the bits that are missing off the butcher's block. Yeah. And Andy looks a little wistful as you dump it all out onto the floor, to be honest. Yeah, there was
eating people.
There was no charm involved. Andy just liked people's stew.
Yeah, my character was. I realised that, but I was thinking in character, he's eating people's stew. He's got to be charmed.
Well, I thought that what people were starting to get charmed, so that's why I opened up on her, because I had visions of we're all getting.
That's cool.
Ending up in that frigging pot.
To be fair, the only reason I agreed to eat the bowl of stew was because I thought she was going to drop the party one after the next.
Yeah.
Well, could well have happened.
I thought maybe if I eat a bowl, or at least I have some of a bowl of this stew.
You are a good decoy.
Maybe it's a bargaining chip.
Well, once again, the DM has rolled shitty because once per turn, she picks somebody who's frightened, glares at them, and if they fail a save, they immediately go to 0 hit points and start making death save throws.
Ow.
So, yeah, she was about to start dropping. That's exactly what was going to happen to Earl on his next turn because he was frightened. And I was like, Here we go again. Earl, you're dead again.
It was my character. Next time he dies, I'm going to go, wait, and just lie down on the floor. There you go.
From what you know of fae creatures, because you are a scholar, Tracy, they never lie, but they will bend the truth in every way possible. So if they give their word for something, they will keep it. They may not keep it in the way you expect them to.
So she's brought up the chest, but left the treasure in the chest on the floor of the lake then.
That's possible.
Possibly.
Well, we'll open it.
Let's go and have a look.
You open this chest, and the glint of gold assaults your eyes. It is stuffed to the gills.
Oh my God.
Gold. The gold is in the party sheet. The only other thing that is in the chest is a small copper bracelet, and it looks like it's been woven and engraved with a name that you don't recognize. It doesn't look valuable. But
does it have a female's name or a male name?
A female's name.
Is it magical, Tracy?
Detect magic.
You detect magic. The cauldron is very magical. The copper bracelet is not. The chest, as you count through the coins, or do you do that thing where you throw gold coins in the air and have a golden shower, as it were? The chest contains 600 gold pieces.
Whoa.
Does anybody mind if I take the copper bracelet? Because that's pretty good for I know it's a good connector for
Well, I get the feeling that
mechanisms and things like that. They use a lot of copper and stuff like that. I know that.
I get the feeling that this white lady who's guarding that chest is going to come after it, and that might be her bracelet.
And she's almost certainly going to come after the person who's got the bracelet.
Well, she could give the bracelet to the white lady. See what happens.
True that. We'll take it anyways. because we can always return it.
Right, so loading a chest full of gold coins, a £50 magical cauldron that basically is too large to carry unless two of you get either side and hold the handles. You manage to squeeze this onto the boat without sinking and row back to East Haven the next morning. So what do? Like, it's big, it's covered in runes, and it's hot.
Put a load of blankets around it.
And what proof were you taking for the?
Well, we're going to bring back the bodies, won't we?
The bits of the bodies, and also the pages that were like with the writings on, to show that there was an old woman basically eating people.
Did the bodies still have their heads on?
One of them does.
Well, I was supposed to go take back the head, tell them we defeated this creature that was eating people who abused their wives. We've managed to drive it off for some time, but we don't know for sure when it'll be back, so they might have to behave themselves around East Haven for a while.
So the captain says, so there was some kind of old woman, according to these papers, there was an old woman living in the cave, eating people who beat
She was
their
like
wives up.
an old witch, old hag of some kind, using dark necromantic magics to entrance people in, and then at that, when they least expected it, to pounce on them, and then they ended up getting eaten by her.
Well, she says, I don't know how successful I could be telling everybody to be nice to each other, but you've certainly driven off the thing that was plaguing the fishermen, so I guess you deserve a reward. She pulls out a bag and a copper scroll case. You and Salmon can tell that on the inscription of the scroll case, it's got a warning, careful scroll of fireball written on it. Or you can have a bag which she opens and has 3 fluffy objects.
What 3 fluffy objects?
They just look like little fluffy balls.
We've got to have the bag. Got to have the bag.
But you wanted fireball?
I can get fireball, but I need the bag. The bag sounds mental. We have to have the bag.
Oh God!
So it's basically 3 fluffy dice.
No, like round, fluffy, cuddly toy type things.
It's a bag of tribbles.
Yeah, that's the way.
Oh my God, tribble ball! Oh my God, no!
No! You've got to make a fluffy dice, so when we're sticking it on the front of the sledge, so we'll make a fast getaway, they like spin.
Right.
Can I detect magic
I need to
on these?
Are you using a spell slot, or have you got it memorized? Or are you going to say, do you mind if
it's a ritual?
Yeah, but are you going to say to her in her office as she's offering these, do you mind if I just chalk all over your desk and sprinkle incense around the room? And she's like, no. What?
Well, what is it then? What?
She says, I don't know. We confiscated it off that wizard that we burnt.
Ask her if she can come to the inn with us, and so she can cast identify on these objects first, and we'll decide.
She says, "Yeah, I've got nothing better to do. I'm only in charge of the entire of East Haven, and apparently, according to your lot, I have to now somehow tell people to be nice to each other in the scummiest parts of East Haven. But sure, I've got time to come to your inn and sit about while you chant things and draw on walls."
Wait a minute.
Thank you very much.
That old lady could come back and get you for being nasty to us. We're only doing you a favour.
I think this is going to require a persuasion roll. Who wants to make the persuasion roll?
Me.
Earl.
Okay. And,
I'm
going to allow you to have advantage because people are helping you, okay?
And I'll press the advantage button. Oh, no, you got it. That's an in check. I have +6. That just came up as an in check.
I don't know why that came up. Check. But you rolled a 17, so yes, you got 20. She says, all right, fine. You've done the town a good service. The least I can do is sit around while you buy me a drink for 10 minutes.
No problem. As we go outside, we'll pick the giant chest of gold up and carry it with us and wait till she says what's in the chest.
Yeah, what's in the chest? Aisha sort of, what are you doing with the cauldron? What are you doing with the cauldron? Just dragging it through the streets?
We'll put it on the back of we'll go and get a sledge and sledge it up to the inn.
Right, so you're loading the cauldron on the back of the sledge for the time being.
Yeah.
With
you haven't been to the inn for some time.
Bob will help, won't he?
Bob's in the inn. So you get that in the sledge. She comes to the the inn. She allows you to buy her some drinks, not the cheap shit, the good
Oh
shit.
no! Wait a minute. I'll
Wait a
open
minute.
the chest so you know when the Pulp Fiction when he opens it and all
Yes,
the
and
gold
it's
reflect
just-
on his face, and I'll pull out a couple of gold pieces and went. I'll
Is this
pick up
where
5
Elle
gold
gets
pieces
into
of
our
drinks
drawers or
for
something?
everyone in the bar.
Are
Right,
you
so-
going to keep her busy?
Are you
Elle?
pulling out an enormous chest of gold in an open bar where everybody can see it?
No, I'm
No.
putting an enormous chest of gold, putting it on a table, opening it up, and getting 5 gold pieces out,
Oh,
closing the chest,
that'd
and
be
then
hilarious.
buying everyone in the bar a drink.
Pip goes, is that what I think it is? And Andy leans over and goes, yeah, mate.
I think Andy can get his male shirt now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you?
definitely.
If we don't get mugged before we get out of town.
Yeah. You
Buy
remember
it now.
remember everybody knows you as the Yeti people. Now you're the Yeti guys with a big chest full of gold pieces.
We'll spend it.
Why don't we just divide
you-
the money between us?
Do you want me to divide the money out, or are you just going to carry around 600 gold pieces in a big
Yeah,
chest?
divide the
No,
money.
divide the money out because I need to spend 5 on a drink for everyone in the bar.
Aye.
We can get one mounts now, guys.
Right. You've got a dog sled. You can
Aye.
get mounts as well. You can use the dog sled for cargo, but
We can-
somebody will have to
We've
drive
got
the
money
dog.
to do. We've got money to do the inn up as well now.
Right. So, hang on.
Sanwin,
Yeah.
you know that prestidigitation thing?
Yeah.
Would it heat up half a bowl of stew?
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
I'm feeling sick. I just the
I'll
thought.
warm
Of
me
it.
stew up for him and go. "You're
Oh
not gonna
God,
eat that, are ya?"
no! Oh, could it be sick?
There's
I'll
toenails in it.
I'll sidle over to the bar and put it down next to the captain's drink.
Oh God, it could be sick.
Right,
Just
so-
the thought of it.
So do you mention the cauldron to anybody, or do you just dump it in the back of a sled and put a tarp all
Just
over
to
it?
Yeah,
yeah,
put
just
the
put a
top over
tarp
it.
on it. Didn't tell anybody.
Right.
Well,
I
I think the best bet with it is bring Shanda.
Yeah.
I need to find this item. The bag is very magical. The scroll is magical because it's a scroll of fireball, but you knew that because of the way it's described. But the bag is very magical.
What about
My
the free
rationale
fluffy things?
is, unless the bag's something really stupid, we should take the bag because I'll get fireball next level.
Do these free fluffy things magical?
Yeah, the whole
whole-
thing is magical. The fluffy things are in it are magical.
So identifying it, what is it?
He's looking it up.
I'm trying
Please
to
be a-
actually find the parcel. Parcel, the cauldron caterer. No, that's not the right one.
Is it the back of Holden? Oh, please be a bag of Holden.
No, it's
Please
not.
be a bag of Holden.
It's not. No, it's fucking madder than that.
It's better than a bag of holding.
It's mad as a bag of cats, which it might literally be.
A bag of cats. Oh wow.
I'm
exciting.
trying to find, honestly, you're gonna like flip.
Oh,
There we
please.
go. I am dropping it in the party sheet now. Is it ID'd for you? So you should be able to read it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Who will have the bag of throwing
please.
monsters at people?
Please.
I don't want it.
It sounds very gadgety.
Let the gnome have it.
It sounds very
I think
Pokemon-y.
Lantes should have it.
Pokemon.
It's literally.
Oh, oh God.
Triple face, I call you.
Wait, let's tell the Ben about this bag.
Right, so take the bag and dump it in your inventory, Tracy, because I'm not sure it has to be attuned or not. Might have to. Yeah, and if it does, in your inventory, there'll be a little tick box next to it.
Can't find it. It's just disappear. Oh, there, bag of tricks.
Oh no, it doesn't even have to be
Doesn't?
attuned. Wow. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. So I better take that chart and stick it, hadn't I? As you will be throwing furry things about.
Do they breed, by the way, in that bag?
No, they don't breed.
All
in
right,
the bag.
that's all right. Because I've just had visions of being able to sell tribbles at the bar as well. He has a
Jesus
bowl of
Christ.
he has a bowl of stew, and oh, by the way, do you want to buy a tribble?
Right, so having completed East Haven and taking an extra day sleeping overnight at the caves,
That's
Yeah.
made my day. That tribble.
Oh, it's just howling. Yeah,
it is
I think
very amusing.
I think
Huge Trekkie fan here.
It's a bag of tribbles.
we probably should go to bring Shanda like straight away because there's a meeting tomorrow.
Oh
and
dear fucking god!
have you just read it?
No, I'm just sticky in the encounter table of what you get when you throw it, and I'm just thinking, oh dear fucking god! Right, this is not going to be interesting at all.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going to be hilarious.
Why do they give players this? Right, I bet you glad it's not a bag of holding now, Tracy.
I've never ever heard of one of these, by the way, but I'm very amused by it all.
Did the other party pick the scroll of fireballs?
They haven't completed it yet.
So where have you sticky the note? Because I'm dying to read it.
Engraved copper bracelet, Tracy, as well. It doesn't seem to be worth a lot of money. Maybe a couple of copper pieces, but it's engraved with the lady's name.
What's the lady's name? Because
I knew you were going to ask us that.
Because we'll need to return this, or I'll let her know that.
It'll be the name of the white lady, at a guess.
I'm not sure whether her name was mentioned previously, but now
Mrs. White.
Mrs. White, yeah. Now you've got
Mrs. White.
Shitload of Now you've got a whole shitload of gold. So much gold.
Let's buy a town.
Oh yeah, it's not in the quest list. That's it. I have to open the map, go to the White Lady Inn, and then it mentions it there because it's not cross-indexed the quest. Because that would make no sense at all. Would it actually put the quest in the quest list? Yeah, there's no mention of the White Lady's name. So I'm just gonna say Charlotte. There you go. It has Charlotte engraved on the inside.
Okie doke.
Right. So you had another long rest. So it's daytime. So where are you heading next? Have you concluded all of your business? 12 miles along road. You can drive the dog sled at 5 miles an hour if Andy cares to make his animal handling check.
I will. Do you want me to roll or do you want to send it?
Yeah, no, just roll it. It's an open roll. I only try to send you things that...
Aminal handling.
It's a straight aminal handling. It's a 15, so you do 1 mile less in total. So you do 4 miles an hour, then 5, then 5. So it takes about 2 3/4 hours to hit Brinshander.
Go to a pub.
Yep.
Head to the local.
You head to the local. You stopped at the gates and said there's a meeting of the speakers tomorrow, if I remember rightly. And your presence has been requested.
Yeah, not a problem. We'll be there.
Is there anything else you wish to do in Brinshander?
Yes, buy a male shirt.
Very good. It's just in the items thing. You can just search for it. You get it.
Right.
You get it at a discount. You get a 10% discount.
Champion. So wait a minute.
Not a meal short.
Armor.
So you turn up. I kind of like the idea if you're having just this jingling chest full of gold coins on the back of your dog sled, and you need to knock £3 of meat off. Andy, I put it in your character sheet to feed the dogs with.
Right.
Oh no, sorry, hang on. The £2 of meat a day.
Wait a minute.
One ration feed for £2. No, it's £1 of meat per dog, so it's £6 of meat you need to knock off.
Hold on. I'm just looking for the male shirt.
That's
I
not
can't
a
find.
It's got items and type meal.
Yeah, I just have. Oh, wait a minute.
It's just here.
And it's not come up at all. Wait a minute. Try now.
Yeah, where the bloody hell is it? Right, I can sort that out because you're selling your scale and you're buying a meal shirt, aren't you?
Yeah, basically.
Because it's getting close to 9,
Right.
10, and I want to finish on a thing, so I'll sort that out for you. Is there anything else you want to do?
How much meat? Yeah, I want some more arrows. And how much meat do you want knocking off? Sorry.
£6. It's £1 of meat a dog a day.
£6 of meat. Right.
Yeah.
So that's 64. God. Right. Done that.
Plus you got 20 wolf.
I wasn't carrying that.
Are you just going to dump that under the back of your sled?
Yeah, because basically I can't carry any of this stuff. Right. I just need
And is there any other business that people will need to get quickly? Like if it's just buying stuff, don't worry. It's just I want to get this bit done in the next few minutes.
No, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. You just go ahead.
I'm gonna give like 10% of what I've earned there, so that'll be like 5 gold, is it?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
15 gold, isn't it? To the temple.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like buying stuff, we can do that next week because obviously we're running out of time.
All right, okay.
So you turn up at the town hall. Most of the speakers are there, as is Sheriff Markham, and you're asked to step before the committee. The speaker for Goodmead is not present. You have a secretary reading the notes. The Goodmead speaker hasn't been elected yet since the last one was killed, and the speaker for Caer Dineval has sent a message to say that he's unable to attend due to illness, and we should proceed without him.
Caer Dineval's a place with the knights, right?
Yeah. One of the knights had said, I speak for the speaker, but you hadn't actually spoken to the speaker or asked about it.
Yeah.
The speaker for Brinshander is the most important speaker, has the biggest mayoral robes, and you see Sheriff Martin standing at the back with his bodyguard, and the old man looks pretty tense. and he says, Warden's Knights, I've received a message and it involves you directly.
Well, that's probably not good.
The goblins, they have a town in the spine of the mountains. They've sent a runner with a message to say that they wish to parley for a truce. They will cease any and all raids or attacks as long as we send you specifically to discuss the terms of this truce.
So it's definitely a trap then.
The goblin town is called Carkaluk, and we have directions to it. Tracy, I'm just sending you a message. So the goblin town of Carkaluk is on the spine of the world along the Red Run. If the directions are follow the Red Run until you meet the fork in the frozen stream and then head directly south to the mountains.
Right.
That's a fair old distance.
It is.
Does it look like it's anywhere near the SOS?
No, Dave, if you follow the Red Run down to the southwest, follow the Red Run all the way along the edge of the mountains till you get to the fork on the southwest edge of the map, then head south.
Richie, should I be alarmed at that?
I'm just telling
Coming
you.
from goblins.
I'm just telling you. He's reading out a crudely, actually, it's not a crudely written scroll. He's reading out a scroll that this message is written on. And sadly, they've specifically asked for you.
Okay.
So that is
Well,
up to you, Tracy, what you do or say with that information.
Right. I'll keep it to myself for now, but just if it becomes pertinent, I'll.
is there a time that they wish us to do this?
He says within the next 10 days.
I'll turn round to Corin and say, how long will it take us to get there?
How long do I think it'll take us to get there?
It depends. Are you going to head down the road and then head along the frozen river, or go directly?
Probably down the road.
Probably down the road and along the river.
So down the road is roughly to the fork is about, it's 11 miles. So you can do that in a couple of hours, but then it's going to take you'll only travel at 3 hours, depending on how your sled and roll does. And then you only travel at 3 miles an hour. So
but it's not like weeks and weeks
no,
get there.
probably
4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days.
Right,
Okay,
'cause
then. We've got pressing business that we'll need to take care of first.
Yep.
I mean, how long will this business take? The
Couple of days.
Yarbnik, I believe this word is here. Yarbnik, leader of the goblins, said he needs to speak to you within a 10 day.
Oh, we'll be there in plenty of time.
I don't know why goblins should decide that this is the urgent thing,
It's very likely a trap.
or why he asked for you specifically.
It's
Because it's very likely a trap.
This is true.
The best way to deal with the trap is walk straight into it, I've found, which is why I spend so much of my time lying on the ground bleeding out.
Of course, you'll be compensated for this, and as soon as I can find how much it is in the description, then I will tell you.
That's probably good of you.
It's them goblins. The writing's not very good, is it?
Actually, this goblin's writing is surprisingly precise.
No, I thought he was searching through the scroll for how much they were going to pay us.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, they seem to have mislaid that scroll.
Precise as in as precise as well spoken as that kobold leader was before he went dumb.
Well, take a look. Come forward, and he puts it on the table, and this note is written out in a precise little hand. Is anybody a reader or a writer?
How do you tell?
Me, I think.
Yeah, Tracy is. Yeah, it's a very neat, precise hand. And although you can't discern anything specific about it, it certainly seems to be punctually correct that normally you wouldn't find from Goblin.
Right.
Does anybody speak Goblin?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
I can find out quickly.
I can never remember.
By just going, hi, and it'll go, understood by nobody. No, nobody speaks Goblin.
No.
So yeah, you're unable to discern anything further. But this is written. This is written in common and signed Yarbnik, which may have meant something if anybody had spoken Goblin.
I'll turn around to the watch captain and say, "Can you put the word out that we're looking for someone who can speak Goblin?"
Yeah, he grimaces and said, "Yeah, I'll find someone. Why don't you come and debrief at my watch house, and I'll find a Goblin expert there."
Okay.
So I hope, obviously, we put a great burden on you. You seem to be going around solving all of everybody's problems. And I can only hope that you agree to keep this meeting. It would be a great weight off our mind if we knew that we either had a trade agreement or at least an agreement that not to continue fighting while this crisis is going on.
I agree. We'll go there straight away, but we just need a slight detour first to kill a sea monster.
A sea monster at the Sea of Moving Ice?
That
No,
lake
it's lemon.
monster.
A lake monster, sorry.
Okay, very well. yes, like I said, we've got a 10-day deadline. What you do in your time is completely up to you.
How
Unless
does
there's any other business, I'll call this meeting to a close, and then you can decide on your own time. Because obviously we're about to
Very well.
Right, so you head out of the meeting and head to Martin's office. He meets you there curtly. He says, "Come in." Obviously, you heard what the speaker had to say. Come into my office, close the door. Pours you each a small glass of strong drink.
I take a seat.
He says,
Nurse and drink.
"Goblins, filthy little creatures. You can't trust them. I'm sure you agree. I'll pull 100 gold pieces out the copper if you chop the leader's head off and bring it to me."
Well, I'd love to acquiesce, but depending on what they have to say, you do realise they're probably up the same shit creek as everyone else is.
Yeah, but we don't all go around stealing and robbing and killing and raiding places.
No, but there's bigger problems around here, like the fact that there's Jewagar all over.
Jewagar? Where the bloody hell's
Yeah.
Jewagar come from?
Yeah, we bumped into a fortress full of them, but we had to kill them. But there's more about.
Right, well, there's a token so that you can place that on the map where you think it is, and then you will know the next time. He's like, Jewagar, fine, fill me in when we've
I'll
dealt
fill
with
them
this.
in on everything.
Right, so you're allied with a bunch of knights from Luskin against the secret invisible Jewagar that is stealing Shardlin.
Yeah. Also, can you find out what's happened to the speaker from Care Dinaval, and also find out something about these knights that we've allied with? Because I've got a feeling they're actually bad guys. They have a torturer on staff. A torturer.
Might be an idea not to mention my culinary preferences.
I'm not going to.
Right, very well. I'll do what I can, but you are actually my eyes and ears outside of Bryn Shander. So
One last question: who feeds the poor in Bryn Shander?
who feeds the poor? We ration food as best we can. The Church of the Morning Lord has some soup kitchens that they put out.
Okay, thank you.
But as you can well imagine, that food is short and getting shorter. No offence, Mr. Toscobble.
None taken. Have a bowl of stew.
Oh God, don't eat the stew.
I
Nope.
I don't think you'd have a bowl of stew left because you seem to be enjoying that stew very much.
I was only eating the veg and the broth.
Well, we could lend the cauldron to the Church of Leander for a while.
That's what I was thinking. We'll lend it to the Temple of Thunder for the soup kitchens, and then we can always get it back later.
And presumably
That
you
sounds
you also have Bob with you, yes?
Yeah.
Right. So as you leave the sheriff's office, the episode for tonight draws to a close with new quests and new rewards, and things are afoot. Many, many things.
Many, many feet.
Indeed.
If no one objects, I think we should lend this cauldron to the Temple of the Thunder, because we can't lug it around with us.
I highly agree.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
As long as they understand it's a loan.
Yeah, the Temple of the Thunder's
Yeah, it's a loan at 110%.